Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. Yes, the panel is currently muted because there are still a couple people filtering in, but like I said, we were starting by 8:30. Yes, I can still hear you guys, but they can't hear you. But see, you're not going to fuck it
You're
up
making
because I've already made it all open
You
up to
already made it
everyone.
where it's already going to the end of time. It doesn't matter when you combine a line just to make up the time every time.
You screwed yourself up on
What?
that one, didn't you, Pig?
No,
Well,
I'm
he
just
does
trying to
like
fuck with you.
screwing himself. He likes screwing
I
himself.
love to
Come
screw
on.
myself.
Mm.
Oh God, it's a quacker squirrel. Get down.
WD-40
Yeah.
fund.
Unfortunately, at this point, I'm only going to say this once. No need to run. You'll only die tired.
But we like the sport.
It depends on how long it takes you to get into the shot. Usually, it doesn't take too long.
Yeah. But then again, there is such a thing as brisant, or however you guys pronounce it.
Am I here?
No,
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, you're not here.
we totally can't hear you.
Is my volume too low?
No, it's perfect, dude. Damn.
You're
Kicked
good,
me, did
Shroud.
not
Trust
fall
me.
for
Who are
that
you
one.
guys talking to?
Cat too easy.
Who are we talking to? I'm confused.
Cinderella.
Of course you'd be confused, Pig.
Yeah, are you guys talking to someone? You said cat. He's not here, is he?
I don't know. Did you open the box?
I can't open the box. I was told never to open the box.
Well,
But
this
you will
Don't
never
open the
find the
Probably
pussy then.
That you should probably stick to that. Last I heard, most pigs were a little lacking in the balls department.
No, only when you castrate them. But you got to be careful when you do that to not give them a hernia because then they might rupture and die.
Yeah, well, if you actually know what you're doing, you don't have that problem.
I can confirm. Just look at Brainy Beaver's Twitter feed.
Looks like Shumanati forgot how to spell.
Let's see.
Yeah, I missed
Hi, Dad.
the show just now. I'm gonna have to watch it in the morning.
Hold on, Dad.
Good luck.
Are you there, Dad?
No, he's
Sorry, I'm muted,
coughing
sorry.
up. He coughed up a fur ball. So no. Okay, who has the vibrator on? Again.
God damn it! Sorry, I put it on
Oh,
high.
did it pop? Oh, it popped out again, Jared. I'm sorry. I need to turn that down. No, Jared and I are trying that new, those internet connected dildo things. It's so weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's weird. It's just kind of funny that you can actually buy that. You can
Is that
control
like-
it over a phone.
So this
Hey.
is what you guys talk about while I'm out? What's up with this?
Hey, my wife
Is
and I
that-
are separated by an ocean and a continent. I need that.
Is
Send me
that
the link.
Is that like quantum vibrator entanglement?
No, it's. I'll get you the link after, Furball.
Actually, Furby, which continent are you talking about? Are you talking about Europe or North America, or both?
The biggest one.
So we're separated by half of North America and the Pacific.
Oh dear, that's not a good day.
Well, now I'm
It's called
like seven
being in the
more
military.
months. Yeah, 7 more months.
Oh, so so you've got one of those Korean thingies going on.
Yep. Yeah, I'm over here for a year.
Hey, Furball, I have a small selection for you, and I'm sending it in the internal chat. There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, okay.
to be
okay.
fair, there
Please
are
note
groups-
the last four letters in the link too. I don't know why they put that in there, but
You know, I actually find it entertaining if they had to put that in there.
yeah.
Well,
They
duh.
felt that they had to do that. Why did they do that?
No, wait. I mean, it is a question mark, and I don't think it's for the article itself. It's just having stuff inserted, so to speak, during work.
So I just discovered apparently I'm high IQ because I have so many windows and tabs and shit open that I literally can't find the Hangout.
Yeah,
I
but do you
can't
have
find where the fucking Hangout is.
Yeah, but do you have a handlebar mustache?
No. Seriously, I
That
can't
was
find the damn Hangout.
the dumbest
What the hell?
thing that anybody.
Oh, there we go.
I have a lot of tabs open, so I'm high IQ. Like, what? It's actually dumb to have a shitload of tabs open.
Wait,
just so it's on your
wait.
computer.
Wait.
Thanks, Bo. Thanks, Bo.
Wait, are
I
you?
found
You're
it.
welcome.
Well, Kat, are you talking about the original video that spawned that, or
Yes.
or Planner Walk's response video to it?
Oh no, Planner Walk was brilliant in his response.
I have to say we
I'm gonna
have
watch the commercial for it now.
we have definitely needed that sort of humor over the past recent stretch, because I will admit even I was starting to doubt the future of humanity, because just the sheer amount of prolific idiocy that has been run into over the last week has been, I want to say phenomenal, but it's not worth it. It's just how can these people breathe?
I just want to know: is Effie in its death throes? Is that what this is?
I hope so. I
What?
really do.
Are we talking about Flat Earth or Facebook? Because I'm pretty sure
Both.
Facebook's going down.
Both ways. Yeah, and I'm also since you used the word, Jared, I'm hoping they're also inhaling phenolic. No, what do they call them? Phenolic fumes.
Hmm.
Damn it, I can't remember. Fuck, I messed it up again. My brain ain't working too many this evening night.
That sounds pretty typical.
It's hard to brain. Braining is hard. Open some more tabs. You'll be good.
Yeah. Either that or go to front mode. Sorry, I didn't mean that in a derogatory. I didn't mean to insult anyone.
Unfortunately, I've been stuck dealing with stupid people doing stupid things in all sorts of places this week. So, yeah, when you're getting when the young generation flees your platform, you have a problem.
Oh, by the way, just a friendly and serious public service announcement. If you're in New York City, there is a minor flood warning. For some reason, I got that warning through Twitter.
Also,
What-
you know, that part of it is I got it too. I'm on the other side of the freaking continent.
Well, I'm not
in the
on the
Bitcoin-
continent.
Well,
I mean,
so
Are there like a disproportionate number of minors in New York?
well,
I would think.
Well, here's what's funny is, so with the proximity to where this alert is actually applicable, I didn't receive it.
let's see,
The one person
you're
that should
far
have?
longer. Yeah, you're way further inland, right?
No, I from New York, I'm a 3-hour drive away from New York City.
On the high side, you could get there in under an hour by train.
Depends on if the SL is running correctly or not.
Yeah, there you go, Jared. I just sent it to you. Very important, apparently.
So anyway, there's a load of stupid going on, and some of my favorite salt. Some of my favorite salt has been mined as a result of of Dissenter. Anybody actually played with it yet?
Oh, I have.
Me?
You know I would play with that.
Well, to be perfectly honest,
Phrasing.
I am unaware of what you are referring.
it is
Dissenter?
a browser. It's a browser extension / website produced by Gab, and it's really just a comment section. It's off on the right or off on the left or wherever the hell you want the little sidebar. You can sit there and make snarky comments about anything, and nobody cares. Well, okay, people care, they just can't do anything about it.
I wasn't aware that Gab was re-platformed again, their website.
Oh yeah,
Oh no, Gab never really went. Gab wasn't even down that long. I think they were down about 3 weeks.
yeah, almost a month, something like that.
Yeah, they gave. Torva got his shit. He got his shit together in a hurry and was back to speed. I mean, it's at this point, deplatforming Gab completely is going to be much different from deplatforming subscribe stores. It's going to be very difficult. They're going to prove very difficult to kill, despite best efforts.
Well, sometimes the
There's
best.
plenty of website hotels around the world, so
Well, and even then, sometimes the best thing for a fuckwit like that when you're dealing with them is really sunlight and using it as a disinfectant.
Which sunlight is that? Which fuckwit are we talking about? Which sunlight?
Any and all of them, within reason.
hey,
Well, Andrew Torva.
that's not.
You see,
I
Andrew
find,
Torva
I
is the
find
guy
that
that
rather
actually
offensive.
Gab. It was deplatformed because of course, extreme far right and neo Nazis and shit, and then he just went out and got himself another hosting provider that wasn't subject to bullshit. But
I'm afraid of the sun. I don't want to be in the sunlight too much.
That's because you're a freaking vampire, not because you're an idiot.
No, yeah, well,
He's a ginger. Close enough.
yeah, well, that's the same, isn't it?
No, it's
Nah, I
not.
just have to build it up, really.
Vampire type creatures are not by their nature idiots. Some of them are, I mind, but they are not that way by nature.
Well, no, because they don't exist unless we're talking about bats.
Well, that's why I will never invite Bo into my house.
Well, hey, I'm only batshit crazy if I have the runs.
You know what? I'm going to say something right here. One of us was going to make that joke. It was going to be you or me, and I was kind of hoping it wouldn't have to be me.
Peer
Well, you
pressure.
do know the runs are genetic, right?
What? Is somebody
Well-
talking shit about the Ho Chi Minh two-step? Come on.
What? Nope, sorry.
No, I was just saying that the runs are hereditary.
Only if they're ugly?
No, because
no,
they're
that
running
doesn't
your
work.
genes.
Are we
Thank you,
back in,
John
like,
C.
the-
Riley,
Hey.
for that one.
Are we back in the
Is
third
that a
grade?
gun? No, is that a gene in your?
Oh.
Is that a gun? No, a gene gun in your genes, or are you just a lab tech?
Oh no!
Which also
Oh no!
just destroys it completely.
Furball, that wasn't a third grade joke. That was a dad joke.
Yes, it was, and it's a joke
But we made.
It's a joke that I made at my 8-year-old probably about 3 hours ago.
Yeah, it would have been easier to identify if we had some crickets in the background. Jay? Too late. There you go.
Well, at least now we
That
know we have
almost
him
sound-
on standby.
Yeah.
Actually,
You gotta run more than once.
and actually, speaking of having crickets on standby, let me find out what's going on with movie night for tonight, so I can plan how little sleep I'm gonna have.
And
Wait,
how little
my day's just
alcohol.
Am I allowed to broadcast games through my webcam?
What I do it. Why
It's
don't why?
Sniper Elite version 2. I get to shoot Hitler in his one testicle.
Well, if you were here, it would be legal. If you were in Germany, maybe not, because you're not allowed to,
No
do
Nazi
Nazi
reference.
stuff in public. Yeah, which is
Well, are you okay with
Believe it or
that?
weird
not,
for me.
Bo, you're wrong.
The legality of it.
It might not be illegal. It is entirely illegal to even refer to Hitler in such a way.
Well, there are some things that are legal, and while referencing Hitler and the Nazi regime, but it has to be done in a certain way.
But what about all the good things
exactly
he did?
Yeah, I don't think that particular comment would be allowed.
Were there? Well, there were. The Autobahn. I've had the pleasure of driving on the Autobahn in not a supercar by any measure, but a fast car, and I had the pedal to the floor. That was freaking awesome.
Well,
I had a Mazda RX-8 while I was
You
there.
know how to make a highway. I can attest to that because
Oh,
holy
yes,
fuck.
sir. Yes, sir. The man did actually know what an infrastructure project looked like.
Right.
If you build it expensively enough, it will last longer than the cheap stuff will. I mean,
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
a Mazda
over a-
RX-8 while I was there, and rotary engine max speed was 155, and I got it up to 155 several times. And I'll say that is exhilarating and terrifying at the same time.
Hang on.
talking Scion
No,
or Miles?
That's
Miles.
Miles.
Holy crap!
Now, it's funny you mention that because on my way home from my ride that I took today, I had a nice clear stretch of highway in front of me, and I just rolled on the throttle to see how quickly I could go, how fast. Within a second, I look down and I'm like, ooh, triple digits. Let's slow down.
Yeah, I took a trip from the Netherlands. Yeah,
I'll give you one better. I'll see your RX-7 and I'll raise you an Audi 5000S and a station wagon.
yeah, no Audis.
Out there on the Autobahn, you put your foot down on one of those. No way. You are not gonna get caught.
Yeah, I drove from the Netherlands to Frankfurt to the airport. Average speed from the Netherlands to Frankfurt, 130 miles an hour. That was my average speed getting there.
Yeah, that
And-
sounds about right.
When I got there, my tank was fucking empty.
Yeah. No
Now,
shit.
when I came back, I was doing 90, and I had a quarter of a tank left.
I'll give you a better one. I took that Audi that I was talking about
Mhm.
from Munich to Nuremberg via Grafenwehr
Okay.
because I had something I had to do in Graf, and I needed to be in Nuremberg in a very short period of time. I managed the entire run in an hour and 36 minutes.
Holy crap!
Stop time in Grafenwehr.
Damn.
Yeah.
What were you driving?
That Audi 5000S station wagon and it was not only that, it was a 1980s model, it was an 85.
You know, I got to tell you something. These cars sound pretty damn fast, and I'll admit that they are. Recently,
There's a butt coming.
I was went on a trip, and I'm in a hotel room, and I hear this ring, 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 ring outside the window, right? And I look outside, and there must have been some kind of import car rally because they just flooded the fucking streets, literally hundreds of them. And
Are we talking actual real motorbikes or crotch rockets?
No,
mixed?
these are import cars, right? But they're like
cars.
hot import cars. You know, they're like Porsches and Audis and whatever. And as I'm listening to this and all these hot imports going up and down the damn road, the only thing I could think of was, it sounds like a fucking weed whacker convention. Are these people allergic to V8s? There wasn't a single fucking V8 out there.
Well, some of them are allergic to the fuel consumption of a V8.
Yeah,
Especially if you're in Europe, because most of us Europeans actually have to pay for fuel,
A shit ton for fuel.
and are we're also environmentally conscious as well. But
Well,
yeah,
had a long
every
talk-
time I hear an American complain about their fuel prices, I really want to laugh right up their faces.
Yeah,
speak-
I had a
Got-
long
you
talk
guys,
with,
you guys
Gio.
have it good in that way.
I had a long talk with Gil about this because I spent a year in Germany, and at home here I have a crew cab Tundra, and I was talking to him about what if I had that in Germany, in Stuttgart. Where would I even park it? Like the streets are so narrow, and the gas prices are so high. It would be just ridiculous to have my giant truck there.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that. You want something much smaller.
Right. Yeah,
Leave-
I had a rental Mercedes station wagon. For some reason, Germans love station wagons.
Functionality, but it's better than a minivan.
in a great, sometimes in a great many ways. So, okay, back to that Audi for a second. What size engine do you figure it had in it, or what kind of engine? Because when you get the truth, you will probably shit bricks. I will surprise the fuck out of everybody. Gas.
I'm
I
not
want
car
gas-
smart.
Wait, an
I-
Audi 5, inline
No,
inline
don't-
6.
Nope. They didn't make an inline six in the 80s.
Thinking about a 2-liter.
I forget.
2.3.
Oh, and by the way, Bo,
No, it's not a Taurus.
you're wondering about gas prices. If I was to go fill up the bike right now, I would be paying less than $3 a gallon.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Without even, taking the time to translate that into liters and
Less than $1 a liter.
not dollars. It's just ridiculously cheap. But
I think
Yeah, in
we're
fact-
about
But you pay at $3 a gallon. He's paying about 75 cents. He's paying a hair less than 75 cents a liter.
yeah, we're
so
paying
just
about
fucking-
$2.20 right here.
Well,
And where are you at, bro?
Well-
Where are you at? again?
well, keep in mind, Kat, I only use premium in the bike.
Whew.
and
Oh, yeah.
what is
The-
premium?
well,
Are we
yeah,
talking
you-
about a 98 octane or
93.
95?
Yeah,
93 to
Yeah, for-
95.
yeah. For
Funny
87
and you call
octane-
that premium?
Well,
What
see,
happened to 98?
seeing as how unleaded the regular is 83 to 85,
87.
No, it's 87.
They sell it's
Oh.
87.
E85. Sorry.
Yeah, that's different. That's different stuff though. That's 85% ethanol.
Well, not in Colorado. The low test is 85. The real gas.
Oh wow.
Gasoline or petrol?
Yeah, but to some places it is regular unleaded ends up being as high as 87. Then you're at about 90 for the mid grade and 93 to 95 for the top tier.
Right.
It's right here. It's up here where I'm at. It's 88, 90, and 92.
I did find a gas station around here that sells non-ethanol gas, which is
Ooh.
great for my power tools. Because if you don't start your shit every couple of weeks, then you're going to go out there one day and it's going to be all gummed up with ethanol in your carburetor.
That's exactly right. If you have a handheld power tool, gas power tool,
Yeah.
when you're done using it, pour as much of that as you can out, then start it up and let it run itself empty before you
Yeah.
store
Well,
it
it would
away.
depend if it's a 2-stroke or 4-stroke, right? I mean,
Either
you
way.
can get 4-stroke weed whackers. So
Well, the 2-stroke is worse about getting gummed up.
yeah,
And-
exactly. But it has more output. I mean, more power. But yeah, it
Right.
gets it gums up faster, and it also is less efficient.
Yeah. And-
It gobbles up more fuel.
They do make the fuel stabilizer, which helps. But what I do is every couple of weeks, I just go out to my garage and I just start everything and let it run.
Mm-hmm. The weird thing is, I'm not in the market for weed whackers, etc. But I wonder why I've never seen any weed whackers or lawnmowers, etc., with where you just
Fuel
put
injection?
in unleaded fuel and oil goes somewhere else. Either it only has an oil, either it has an oil pan, or it has a separate container for oil and it mixes it itself.
There are a few tools that actually do that, but they're rare.
Yeah,
Typically,
make a weed whacker that's 4-stroke.
My lawnmower's 4-stroke, and you just chuck the petrol straight in, and away you go.
Done with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
No
what
need
I'm
to mix it.
But I'm talking about 2-stroke. Typically with 2-strokes, you have to pre-mix the fuel and the oil.
Yeah.
And there I have
I've noticed
seen.
that pretty much all the power tools over here now are 4-stroke.
Yeah, and it was much easier, it used to be a lot easier. I remember, of course, I was nowhere near old enough, and I certainly didn't have a driver's license for it, but I was used to, getting sent to the gas station by my dad to fill up his moped. And they had these weird, at some bars you can buy 4 feet of beer, those acrylic tubes where you can see the beer, that kind of thing. The gas stations had those kinds of fuel oil mixers where you just you mix the fuel and oil yourself before you pour it into the gas tank. I remember doing that stuff.
Yeah, we never. I don't remember that in the U.S.
Yeah, we never had that.
But we used to have that, and that made it so easy to get fuel for lawnmowers, etc. But we don't have those anymore, so you have to do it yourself and make sure you do it correctly.
The issue now is really just the ethanol, because that's why they have just a couple of gas stations around that sell the gasoline without ethanol. And if you can get that and put it in your power tools, you're a whole lot better off.
Yeah.
Or even better, getting what do you call it? Making it legal to sell ethanol for the same fuel you use for a remote controlled helicopter or airplane, fixed winged plane, sorry, and the motors for that type of fuel. That would be great. That would run clean, and I miss the smell of it too.
Well, Terry Davis does have a good point that it is hard to buy 2-strokes now, as most things are going over to 4-strokes, and part of that is because it's because of the emissions control. A 4-stroke burns cleaner from an emission standpoint because it's not burning the lubricating oil at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
So here, okay, guys. I somebody said an inline 6 for that Audi, and they were wrong. Did anybody else have any other guesses? Because I
don't know.
I pissed off at least 2 parts shops. Do it
Can
with the vehicle.
Can I have a hint? Does it have a ripcord?
No. The damn thing ran on a 1.9 liter inline 5. Only 5 cylinders per beast.
Yeah, that's rare. 5 liter. I mean,
I didn't get to ask if you need a blank round to start it up.
No,
well, inline 5 as in a 5 liter or 5 cylinder.
5
5
cylinder.
cylinders. It was a 5-cylinder engine, 1.9 liters total capacity.
1.9? There's motorcycles with bigger engines than that.
Yeah, but
it's still a smaller engine than in a Ford Taurus.
Wait, a
You can get up to 2.8 liters.
Wait, a 1.9 liter? Actually, a lot of your bikes are capping out at just over 1 liter until you get into your cruisers. Your cruisers will get go 1.2 to 1.8 liter, but the majority of your bikes are anywhere from a 600cc up to technically just below 1,000, just below a liter.
My Goldwing is a 1.8 liter V6.
And I could have sworn in the 80s I saw a Goldwing that was a 2000 cc bike.
They did make those.
They had in the 80s. I think the Goldwings were a 1500 cc. I believe.
At one time they were 12.
Great for ruining it for me. I was just getting over CC.
The funny thing is, a
In
1.9 or 2 liter is actually a big engine in Europe. It's going to be quite a bit bigger than average.
Also note that the curb weight on that was just about just a hair more than a metric ton. So you could load that thing up and drive down the road at some truly offensive speeds if you wanted to. I had that vehicle shipped here to the United States, and I pissed off a couple of different part shops because I'd order an odd number. I'd ask for an odd number of freaking spark plugs. So like, dude, you're short. Like, what? Or the better one is, are you buying a spare? No, I need all 5 of them. Bullshit. Engine. Dude, and I swear to God, I had a Walmart automotive manager, come out to my vehicle, look under the hood, count the number of wires, and look at the cap, and then reach back in the back of the engine compartment and said, "Dude, what the hell happened? You're missing a cylinder."
Yeah, I had a similar thing happen. I had a 4-cylinder Mustang, and it had 8 spark plugs. And the folks at AutoZone, when I went to go buy 8 spark plugs, told me I could not have a 4-cylinder with 8 spark plugs. And
I did a head gasket job on a 4-cylinder Mazda, and it had 8 plugs. In fact, that was my first head gasket job. It confused the shit out of me.
What? It's here. It's sitting in front of me. I know. I can see it. But how the hell did they do this?
That's probably not the most confusing head job that's ever happened, though.
Hey guys, if you want really bad, Volkswagen dealer tried to sell my daughter's boyfriend spark plugs for his 1.6 TDI Golf. And that was a main dealer as well.
What?
A Volkswagen main dealer tried to sell him spark plugs for his 1.6 TDI Golf.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
That seems like something they should know the difference on, just a little bit.
Well,
You know what?
what was it? At that time it happened, was it an obscure model or a very new or very old model?
Oh no, the
For that area?
TDI has been around for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm talking, geographically.
this was like Tuesday, and it's a 2011 Golf diesel.
Hold on a second. I was just to say, aren't the TDIs diesel?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The whole
Turbo
TDI
diesel injected.
time reserves.
Yeah,
It's like a left-handed monkey wrench.
Yeah, I mean the Danish defense uses Volkswagen TDI 6 and TDI 5s. Maybe I think they also use TDI 7s, but they're also using Mercedes now. But minivans.
Yeah.
So I know, but it's just it just sounds wrong. I was thinking you meant in a rural area and it was a special import or something. That would make sense then.
This was a Volkswagen. This was the local Volkswagen main dealer in Norwich, and it was like, "Would you like won't you need spark plugs for that?"
Yeah.
You know what you would do there? If it was me, I would go down to after that little event. I would go down to the shop and ask, "Hey, you guys, I just talked to the manager, dealer, whatever. Blah 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 blah. What do you think about that?" And just make sure that you get some of the I don't know what you guys call them, but the fuck up beer for later.
Speaking of stupid people, I checked in on our friend from the trailer today that we talked to here several weeks ago, and he's still crazy.
Well, he doesn't get over that kind of thing quickly, I don't think.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been keeping tabs on him in terms of downloading every single video that he puts out. Unfortunately, the software I'm using does not like live streams. It doesn't want to download them once they're done.
Oh, it doesn't recognize them.
Because
it's not JDownloader. It's a different one.
He puts out a ton of videos, and I was looking today, and they'll have like 2 or 3 views, and he's got only 15 subscribers, but he still just keeps rolling them out as fast as he can.
Hey, Bo, it might take a couple days before you can download them. You might have to go back.
Well, that could be it. I mean, I'm using a 4K downloader. It just keeps saying error.
Yeah, if it's a live stream, it takes a while for YouTube to actually encode it for downloading.
Yeah,
maybe it's there.
But in terms of putting out videos, I can't remember what his actual name is. He's a Canadian actor. He's the guy who plays McKay in Stargate. He has anxiety problems. He uses his YouTube channel to as a type of therapy, self therapy. So I'm not saying so. I would say that just him, that guy, the trailer guy, him putting up a bunch of videos every single day, even though they're not getting any views. I wouldn't hold that against him on the face of it. Depends on what's in it, but to use it as therapy, I mean, that's okay, I guess.
Yeah,
but then you have to look at the videos and.
Yeah. I can understand that.
If that's what he's doing.
Yeah, if that's what he, I wouldn't really say that. But then again, I'm kind of literally afraid to watch it too much of it. So.
Right. It's just
it doesn't make me feel good. So.
Thing where he knocks the holes in his walls, and then he feigns the Irish accent. Like he'll just go into an Irish accent and then right back out of it. It's really weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. There's somebody that needs meds.
Well, he needs help. Someone to talk to. Just someone.
Yeah.
Who's physically there. Yeah. But going back to the other stuff, just to. I'm not freaking out here, but I'm not too comfortable about that one. He reminds me too much of what I was like a couple of years back. The thing about the gasoline stuff, I imagine that the U.S. imposes taxes or, it would be a tax.
On fuel.
On fuel, yeah. In percentage, is it the same? Or is it based on each individual?
Well, there's a federal gas tax, and then each state has their own gas tax on top of that.
In some areas it gets even better than that, because not only is there the federal, not only is there the state level, but then some places have county and then municipal on top of it.
Okay, as a mean average.
County.
As a mean average, what are we looking at then in percentage for diesel and gasoline?
Roughly half the price of a gallon of gas is tax.
Yeah, 50
I would say,
to 60%.
Yeah.
Oh,
diesel?
pretty low then.
And for diesel?
The tax percentage is about the same. They do tax them different rates, but the percentage ends up being the same. If you're close to the 50% tax, the listed price, you're lucky. Some places, like when you get towards LA, up here towards the Northeast, that 50 becomes 60 to almost 75% tax.
Right.
Ooh,
So,
lovely.
but
Yours seems
Jared,
quite-
what are
yours
you
seems
paying?
quite cheap.
What are you paying a gallon right now? Because
Uh,
I'm paying about $2.20.
right now, I'm at 240 regular, 293, 295 for premium.
Yeah,
Oh,
that sounds
God.
about right.
I think I
You
just
guys-
paid around 230. I just paid 230 or 240 here in Korea, but at the on-base gas station.
Yeah, and of course
Yeah.
they price it based off of the
Yeah.
U.S. market
The
there.
American.
Oh, and do you get to not pay sales tax in that case?
No, on
For
base,
gas?
you still do pay. That's the one deviation from, like, at the exchange, we don't pay tax, but for gas, you still do.
Yeah.
Let me see what,
Okay,
let me
that
see what the
went
prices are at
complete-
work.
That went completely over my head. I didn't get that
So,
one.
so on base, there's the exchange, the Navy exchange, the base exchange or post exchange, which is like the retail store. But then there's also the gas stations. Inside the retail store, on base, we are not subject to sales taxes at all. But at the
Okay.
gas station, there are most of the taxes already built into the cost of the fuel. We generally get exempt if there are municipal or county taxes, but we'd still pay the state and federal because it's built into the cost of getting the fuel on base.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah, that's
at the
just-
exchange, at the exchange, there's no taxes because we have no federal purchasing tax, sales tax. All of the sales tax are state by state. So at the exchange, you're paying exactly retail.
Yeah, and
I mean,
I had a very what turned out to be an awkward talk with the base commander of NOV, the Norfolk base giant one right here, who was in 06. And I said, why do we let them, the gas companies, come on our base, set up a gas station, and then charge us the exact same amount as off base? Like, why are we even letting them on base if they're not going to cut us
Yeah,
A deal.
some sort of a deal? And it turned into a really awkward. He did not have an answer.
So here's the gas prices at my work.
Can I get a mic check for the hashtag not a Kiwi?
hashtag doesn't sound
Wait,
like a in-throat mic.
Oh, is that better there for you, Bo?
No. Well, do it upside down and have another go.
Hang on, have we got a digger around?
Can you hum that?
Well, I know it's a long time ago, but you still have. I still see it as a problem because you still do it in the States. Just in any normal store for consumers, there is no the sales tax is not added to the price. I'm sure it has to be listed there by law.
No,
The percentage, but you have-
no, not even. The
Not even? That
in
sucks.
in the U.S., the only price that they are by law
Compelled to.
have to show is the retail price that they are charging, and if it is on sale, they have to show the original price along with the sale price. And when it comes to sales taxes,
You don't know until you get to the checkout.
yeah, because of the fluid nature of sales tax in the U.S. From state to state, and you
state
have
by state, yeah.
and you have multi-state vendors like your chain department stores. They will put out material that is just the retail price, and it's there. It is issued company wide, nationwide. That's why they do it that way instead of having the sales tax marked on it.
Yeah, well, if the sales tax was fluid, not geographically, but on location. It had just like gold prices. You have your daily tax, and it's different from day to day. Then I could understand that it wouldn't be there, but
the issue though, Bo, is here's the issue. So I live on the county line. Say that I've got a Walmart next to my house, and it's in the city, and there's a Walmart across the street in the county. City might have sales tax that the county doesn't, so I could buy the exact same thing across the street for 3 cents less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
because there's no tax.
You can still just put it up there, though.
Well, here's the thing: like buying a car in Washington State is you have to shop around for the best deal, not because of which dealer has the better price, but which county and which city has the cheaper sales tax on it as well.
Yeah. Well, just talking about cars or buying a kitchen or whatever.
Well, no,
I'm used to seeing different pricing based on the rents that the shop you're at has to pay. I mean,
small.
If the rent is cheap for the company where you are, then
smaller businesses, one-off businesses will have varying prices in that way because of their overhead. Because there's the wholesale, then they have their markup, and then you have your sales tax on top of that. Where some places will play with the markup amount to try to drum up business, and if they don't have the increased overhead, then they're not going to be compelled to mark up to a level that another store is going to. So you will have that, and that's generally where the manufacturer will step in with different things. Like my hockey stick, which is right here next to my monitor, Bauer, they have restricted pricing that says you cannot list our items for lower than this amount. They actually retail control what their product can be listed for at what time, because
that would be illegal in Europe.
Oh no, it happens in Europe too. They do it over there too.
No, it's illegal.
Bauer does.
They can't. It is illegal. It's illegal in the EU. It's illegal.
I just want to point out quick that we have a guest in the side chat.
Oh yeah, I already saw cats out there.
Jared, could you rephrase what you said, because I didn't.
So
I went blank again here.
So.
Again.
So this hockey stick I have right here next to me, when it was released new, when Bauer put it out, they put it out to their retailers. This is the price it is to be listed for in your country. And
that would be that is illegal in Denmark, certainly.
It's illegal here as well.
Yeah, you could have a situation where the producer. The owner of the factory or whatever. I have a translation error in my. Yeah, I'm broken today. Okay, don't judge.
Well, and
manufacturer,
and they can say this is the recommended price. That's fine, recommended. And they can also say you're not allowed to go above this price if it's. I mean, for example, the Panasonic sensor that I worked for. Not too long ago, Panasonic can say to the franchise holder or whatever it's called these days that you are not allowed to sell these televisions for a price that's higher than this. But they can't do it the other way around. That would be illegal. That would be. I think it's because it opens up the a risk of what would you call that? Mafia tactics.
It's anti-competitive practices.
That's it. Yeah. So that would be illegal.
I have actually been involved. I've actually been at a meeting where a manufacturer tried to insist that a retailer listed products at a minimum price, and it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that there's a difference between your local supermarket or your hi-fi shop. But if it's a chain, I mean, for example, the Panasonic Center I mentioned, technically speaking, you cannot sell products to a person that just walks in from the street. The person has to be the customer has to be a member of I can't remember what it's called, the Panasonic Club or whatever. So and that means that there's different rules. However that works.
Yeah, I mean,
but I see what you mean.
The store I was at was an independent retailer who was selling and was advertising at a price that the manufacturer did that a competitor in the same town, competitor retailer in the same town, didn't like. So they tried to push the manufacturer to get the prices equalized at a level the other retailer was happy with. Yeah. And the retailer I was working for basically told them to
piss off.
Yeah, something like that. And he had me at the meeting just so that he had a witness that was able to say, yeah, they tried price fixing. Yeah. Because it's a £250,000 fine if you get caught as a maximum.
Well, a couple of years ago, we had fuel wars on a national scale between Shell, Q8, can't remember the last one.
Probably BP.
Gas station. No, we don't have that in Denmark.
Oh, lucky you.
But gas station chains, because they found the ombudsman. That's a Danish invention, by the way. That's why you can't pronounce it correctly. It's ombudsman, as if that's hard. Anyway, they were arranging, they were coordinating prices under the table, between them, and still faking a competition. So they were slammed down hard. What they do now is that they have they don't officially do it anymore, but all the gas stations are usually close to each other, for the competition, of course. So more or less on the clock, on the specific time, several times per day, they will all get out their binoculars and check the prices on the other side and match them. I mean, that is
actually, I've heard that in the States. I've had a gas station owner tell me that they are not legally allowed to sell gas at a loss. So if you're paying if you're paying 2 gallons or $2 a gallon, you can't sell it for $1.99. I don't know if that's true, but
why
that's what I've
would
heard.
the city, state, or whatever care?
Because
in that regard, anyway.
You could if you're a giant gas station and you have a small gas station next to you, you could take an entire week and sell gas at a loss and just eat that loss and put the other gas station out of business.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's true.
In
you
the
could
US,
pressure them out by proxy or whatever it's called.
And I've seen gas wars. They used to have gas wars back in the 80s and 90s, where gas stations would do exactly that at a local level, at least.
Yeah.
They would keep lowering their prices, just to be a penny lower than the other guy, and the other guy would have to drop his by a penny. But these are big. These are big national chains that are doing it, and the mom and pop gas station on the corner is seeing this, and they can't afford to drop their prices.
Yeah, they can't do it. So you could just it's sort of like when a Walmart comes to town and runs the mom and pop grocery store.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because they can buy thimbles by the container load. 40-foot container load, and the mom pop shop can't.
That's exactly what happened in my town. They opened up a Walmart, and once they opened up that Walmart, the grocery store closed, the all 3 clothing stores closed, 2 of the 3 office supply stores closed. Half the town closed up when Walmart opened up.
The one good thing about those smaller gas stations, like you call them mum and dad ones, we just call them normal ones. But when they used to have their driveway service, even if you had the small mum and dad ones, you'd prefer to go to the I'd rather have gone to them, and at least they check me oil and tires for me. And I wouldn't mind paying the extra couple of cents for that.
Yeah, I and this is not a poking at the Kiwi here, but I know I'm not all that old, but I have never seen that here.
You've never.
I know we had it.
You've never
in the
been?
60s and the beginning of the 70s, maybe, but otherwise never.
And they pump
That
out gas
happened
for
when I
you
was
too.
a kid, and that doesn't happen anymore. When I was
Go to
maybe
Oregon.
5 years old, I remember that.
Well, there are some areas where it is actually regulated that gas station attendants are the ones to pump fuel, like in some parts of
Oregon.
Jersey.
Yeah.
In Jersey,
New Jersey.
Well, New Jersey just
Oregon.
recently started letting drivers pump their own gas.
Yeah.
We're talking about we're talking about the usual broken legal system again.
Right. That was really awkward for me when I went to New Jersey, and I jumped out, grabbed the gas pump, and some guy ran over. I was like, "Oh, no." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He was like, "Oh,
You're not qualified to do that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, the most interaction I would have at a gas station, that kind of situation would be after a certain time of day, where I would have to either just pay with my credit card, or the gas company's my Texaco card or whatever, or I would have to just wave at the teller. And they would push a button, so they would let me pump the gas.
Yeah, when I was in Bahrain, I
think
pump my own gas. That was really weird.
Yeah, but I think the only reason they did that was to make sure that, okay, if you're going to, that's embarrassing. I can't remember what the British slang word is for it. Pilking or something. Bilking, yeah, where you go and you pump some gas and you drive off, and if you're smart about it, you remember to put on some another person's plates on first, and this way you have the psychology of, okay, you have to look at the teller, you have to make eye contact first, and the good thing that with cameras as well, you have even if you have a cap on, you still need the eye contact first.
I miss the old dinger sound when I pump gas or pump petrol. Driveway service when my first job, and I'd always remember that dinger when they drove over it to go running out and serve the customer. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the other
we
thing
don't
I
have
have
that
never
anymore either.
No, and I have never seen a manual car wash in Denmark either, except for professional, for big lorries or trucks and semis.
Oh wait, you mean like the ones?
It's
where
always been robot.
Oh.
It was
the drive-through car wash. I don't have those.
All consumer. All consumers, if you want to get your car washed, you can go to one of those. Some gas stations have self-service, where you put a coin in a what do you call it, coin slot, and you have access to a vacuum cleaner for 5 minutes or whatever. But there's also a different one where you have access to a hot water pressure washer with soap, etc. That you can toss in a coin, for example.
Car wash.
Yeah,
but you don't have the drive-through.
No, they only have the drive-through.
We have that self-service stuff, and then we have the robots. Either a parking, either a stall that you put your car in, or it's and these are not that common, but those what do you call them? It's not a belt drive, but it's a type of belt drive. But instead of a belt, you just drive your car in so that one of the wheels
goes into a track.
Your wheels on one side. Yeah, it goes into a track, and it has rollers that pushes it forward.
We have that.
And
here.
there's robots going up. Yeah, no human contact whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we don't have the problem of lawsuits and that kind of thing.
when I used to work when I used to work on that one of those automated ones, I was always washing the cars before they went in because the brushes didn't quite get behind all the mud flaps and everything. But then it was good in summertime because I'd get all the young girls coming through with their bikinis on from going to the beach.
Well, still, with the robots, it's always, especially in the summer, it's always a good idea to loosen up the dirt and grime in some places anyway. Even
it used to take me a while to pre-wash their cars.
Why? You mean a bikini wash?
The other thing is, it used to be the same over here. You used to just have the automated systems, but now we've got a metric load of hand car washes opened up. They all seem to be run by Eastern Europeans.
Yeah, but again, the only place I see that here is for professional customers. Like, I mean, I used to get if I had the big lorry, not a semi, but the big lorry, it wouldn't go through any of the robotic machines. So I had to go through the manual ones, and it was just a team of 2, maybe 3 guys. They had some industrial size pressure washers, and I mean, you couldn't even look away. They're done so fast. It's incredible.
They've got a good deal going here. Every big car park centre we've got in town, or the one down further, they've got one of those people. Either they're Korean or that way they're opened up their own little detailing section. So you go drop your car off, and while you're shopping, you get your car detailed.
Oh well, we've got that in some of our bigger airports. Not the one in Copenhagen, but some of the other ones. We do have that where you can choose if you're gone for a while. For example, you can get a full service. That means it's put away in a locked and what do you call it? A locked, safe and dry parking lot with CCTV, and that they know when you're coming back, and they make sure to clean it both inside and outside.
Yeah,
and
what
pick all
we
the
have here,
oil
that I'm using next week is the mobile car detailing. So you'll have a guy.
Oh yeah, they come to your
Right. Yeah, he'll come to your office, and he's got a trailer with a 500-gallon jug of water on a trailer with a power washer and a vacuum, and he details your car while you're working. It's pretty affordable too.
But do they do motorcycles?
Yes. Actually, they do.
Yeah.
I checked.
I know somebody now who will detail your motorcycle for you for very good rates, Jared.
Yeah, but it's getting them over here to do it. That's the thing.
It's getting her over to you. Yeah, that'll be the problem.
Yeah, Jared, send your motorcycle to me. I'll clean it, and then you can come pick it up. I'll ride it,
to test it out.
To try it out. You'll have to give it a ride to try it all out. Yeah.
I'll bring it back to you.
Yeah, it's a safety thing. Every time you've washed your vehicle or your conveyance or your boat or whatever you want to call it, yeah, sovereign citizen, you have to check out the brakes.
Well, yeah,
and you have to heat them up, and so of course you want to take it for a spin.
Well,
I mean, test drive it.
It's funny.
I wouldn't be riding it. I would just be traveling because it's not for commerce.
No.
So how fast do you think you could travel with it?
Oh, I know that it can travel at least 100 miles an hour.
And you don't need a license.
That's not exactly quick.
You're just
100
traveling
miles an hour.
What was that, Alan?
So it's not exactly quick at 100 miles an hour.
Nah, not at all. Not when you're not expecting it.
Well, Jared, you really need to save up some money and go take that baby to the parts of Germany that still has their no speed limits.
The unrestricted
on the freeway. Yeah, because they are waning. I mean, they are closing them down.
I'll go to Montana.
No, Montana. Yeah, they got tons of
a speedway track or something.
Jared, when you're going fast, when you look down at your clock, because you think you've just slowed down from 100 to 40, and you're still doing 90.
Right. The issue I have with my Goldwing is that it's so smooth that you don't feel your speed.
Yeah.
So you're out on the highway and you look down and you're doing 90 and you thought you were doing 60.
Well, since you can't feel it, then obviously you're not moving.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I thought
Hey,
as I
the
said,
only
I thought I
motorbike
was
I've
doing
ever
90,
ridden.
and
Well, you're not
That's
moving. The Earth is
actually-
scrolling underneath you.
Yeah, I was going to say
That-
that you don't feel, you don't feel speed, you feel acceleration.
yeah,
Well, change in acceleration, yeah.
Yeah,
Direction
I
under, yeah.
want to ask one of these people, and if I ever get a chance, I'm going to. What is the mechanism by which you feel movement? Because it's the fluid in your ear.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only way that you feel movement. So, you.
Oh,
how
and
would
is
you
that fluid
feel
flat?
Slight. I want to ask them and see if they even know that your inner ear is how you feel movement.
Some of them do, and don't let them fool you if they try to say no, because I've had that discussion with them over 3 years ago. At the very beginning, when they said, "Oh, we don't feel it moving," it's like, wait. Do you feel a constant, or do you feel acceleration? Now, acceleration is a change in velocity or direction.
Right. Well, velocity is a vector, a speed and vector. So velocity is both. Like speed
Jared,
is
chat.
change in speed, but
Velocity,
velocity is velocity includes a vector, unless I'm wrong.
And
No,
the
you're
other
right.
one,
You're right.
the other one of that too is you've got 3 sensors in your body. You've got sensors in your feet to tell you that you're upright. You've got your eyes to give you visual reference, and you've got the balancing in your brain or the back of your ear that tells you which way you are in orientation to your vertical position when you're standing. But if you shut your eyes and you lose that sense of the one in your brain,
You're true
you'd
drunk.
fall over.
But I mean, we have all been at a movie theater and seen the visual of you on a roller coaster, and you actually, it seems like you feel it, but you're not moving. So
You mean if you watch one of those
VR.
you can find them all. Well, not even. You don't even have to do that. You can find one of those videos that is recorded from a roller coaster that isn't shaking like it's like crazy, or the animated ones just on a normal screen. And if you have a good headset on, so you can get the full audio experience, you could potentially start moving around like that.
You can even get motion sickness from that sort of thing too.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing with my. No. Oh wait, Piggy isn't here. On my Amiga or Commodore 64 or something, playing a.
Don't make me play with you, Bo.
Oh, there you are. I feel dirty.
He's there.
Playing a Formula 500 race or something. I would sit there and go through the motions like if I was in a bobsleigh. I mean that would.
Have a whack control on.
Apparently.
The greatest joy that I've had recently is when I was in my debate, and I told the guy, I said, "You can."
What debates?
Well, it wasn't really a debate, but I said, when you see CGI, right? Like you could tell if a picture's fake, right? And then I pulled up the pictures, and he had no fucking idea. Even though 2 of the 6 of them had been altered by graphic artists at my work, he had no idea. I'm like, well, then how, by what standard are you saying that that they're CGI when you cannot tell me which of these are CGI?
If it doesn't match his narrative, it's obviously CGI.
Yeah, just as I don't know how effective it would be, but and I know I'm the pedantic type, and I also know the difference between these two. But if you can, if you get in one of those conversations, and it's a quick, and you have, you find the right place for a quick fire question. Ask what the difference between CG and CGI is.
Yeah, center of gravity and
that's a good one too.
No. In terms of let's just call it media that you're looking at.
Well, what I did
if it's a still or moving.
What I did was I had a graphic artist darken. I pulled up some screen caps of this guy and had a graphic artist darken one of them slightly. And then another one, I had them add a finger. He had his fingers clasped in front of him, and I had him add a finger. And I put them side by side and said, which one of these is fake? And he said, I don't know.
No.
And I said, how the fuck do you know what CGI is?
Oh, better yet. How about the other night?
That looks fake to me.
Hang on. How about on the other night on Red's channel when we had that cynical skeptic on there who's trying to say that this image was fake, that one's real, but that one's fake because of those artifacts, which was entirely due to compression because it was a JPEG of a smaller resolution.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, but
and I had the same graphic artist pull up the Blue Marble. I downloaded a Blue Marble at
Goes one of those 140 megabyte pictures.
Yeah, it was a high resolution, and he did.
It's from the Goes.
Yeah. He did the pixels from north to south pole versus the equatorial.
Counting, yeah.
Right, and he sent me a picture, and which proves that the equatorial width is slightly wider.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also the Scott Manley video where he actually slices up a picture.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
And rotates it.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the Earth is just old. We all get a little wider in the middle when we get old.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, you should know about that, Blake.
But the problem with this kind of stuff is that when they don't even know, I mean, it's most of it is parroting, and some of it is they may have done a little bit of research and you just call everything that has been modified. If we're talking about a picture or a photo,
right?
Anything that has been modified is CGI or CG. Well, now, first of all. What is the difference between a photo and an image? These days, there is no difference.
No,
those two words actually mean the same, but not. But a few years ago, before easy and cheap photo editing became available for everybody, there was a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about scientifically here, but for everyday people. The other thing is that if I'm looking at a composite, if I take a picture of a beautiful landscape, and I have a picture of a girl, and I took that picture with her standing in front of a clean and uniform background, and I put a picture of her cut out into that photo, and that's the finished photo. Is that CGI? Well, no. It's a composite. Yeah. I haven't modified the photos. I haven't modified the photo. I have made a composite of two photos.
Yeah, I would like to ask him if I want a picture of you, but here's the rules. You're not able to have the camera more than 6 inches away from your face or anywhere on your body. Give me a picture of the entirety of you. Is that really a picture of you, or is it CGI and you don't exist?
Well,
I
guess something relevant.
And tell them if they have a Nikon tell them to get another camera so you can actually, take a RAW photo, save it in RAW format, and not the kind of so-called RAW format that the P900 or P1000 can make. Okay, I'm not sure about the 1000, but the P900 can make, because it cannot, as far as I know.
P900 can't do RAW at all. It only shoots JPEG.
It has. If I'm not, unless I'm incorrect, I think it has RAW 1 and RAW 2.
It has P900 has no RAW at all, and I don't think the P1000 does either.
Oh, let me look.
I can't remember the one my dad has. I think it's a D60 or 60D. You can never remember which is which.
60D has RAW because that's the DSLR.
And I think it. Yeah, but
the P9000 doesn't.
No.
P900.
The thing is,
sorry.
Yeah,
all right, let me look.
His camera cannot record complete RAW. It will still do something to it.
I need to interrupt everything quick. So, recently in Missouri, a lawmaker introduced a bill that requires ownerships of AR-15s.
Wait.
Requires ownership?
Require them to what?
Yes. Missouri lawmaker introduces bill that would require AR-15 ownership. According to the proposed bill, any person who qualifies as a resident on August 28, 2019, who does not own an AR-15 would have 1 year to purchase one.
Okay,
That's weird.
That's a fucking lie. I'm not saying you're lying, but that's no, I cannot believe that. No.
Well, no.
The other one?
Hang on. I can see a state level representative introducing a bill like this. The question is whether or not it will pass.
Okay.
No, it will never ever pass. And the reason it won't pass, I can see this happening because I've lived in Missouri. I lived a lot of years in Missouri. I can see Missouri introducing a bill like this. It will never pass though, because of St. Louis and Kansas City. Those are two of the most liberal cities that you will ever find, and they basically dominate the entire damn state.
Yeah,
I just got suckered by the EU. Error
I don't remember.
451. Unavailable due to legal reasons. God damn it! I can't use that with that link.
I'm not sure if it was the late 1700s.
Wait, why is
or
the EU keeping you from looking at a news article?
Exactly, but then again, I have my ways. I know it's weird.
There used to be a law that each male of military age had to have a rifle and a certain.
You're talking about the Civil War time.
It was prior. I'm not totally sure on the time frame, but there was a time in the U.S. where military-age males had to have a rifle, a certain number of balls, and a certain amount of powder.
Yeah. Well, if I was a member of the National Home Guard here in the 80s and the beginning of the 90s, while the Cold War was on, I would have my rifle or my machine gun, depending on what type of gunner I was, rifleman or gunner, sorry, and also live ammunition in my home in a safe. Well, actually, back then it wasn't necessary to keep it in a safe. I just needed to have it hidden. But what do you call it in English? Damn it. The vital part of the weapon. Yeah, the vital part of the weapon has to be locked in, behind two locks. That is the front door / window, and then a cabinet somewhere.
Well,
but that's different. That's different now, though.
I have to have a certain amount of guns in my house just by man code.
Yeah, but then again, this was for military personnel, and it was during the height of during the Cold War. You have to remember too that civilians do not own weapons here, or firearms. That is.
Well, civilians in the U.S. are not allowed to not own weapons.
But the thing is here now,
That's
I
not
can't
law.
read it yet.
It's just what we do.
It's not American apparently. Yeah, but now since I can't read it, I still have to. There's this usual pedantic gene in me. This is what do you call it? This is Alan. You used the word earlier. We were talking about the gas station stuff. I was talking about the mafia style of doing the under-table pricing between competitors.
Price fixing.
Price fixing, yeah. In this case, an AR-15, that is not a type of weapon. That is the name of a product of a certain of a certain company.
No, it's
not. It is
anymore.
now, and it is. Well, it still is.
It's a genericized.
It still is, but under licenses.
It's been genericized to the point that an AR-15 is now a generic product that can be made by almost anybody. In fact, during the assault gun ban, and in certain, and I think in California, certain places they when they banned assault rifles, they produced a list of firearms that were on the assault rifle ban, and it included Colt and several other manufacturers of AR-15 platforms. And those rifles could no longer be sold, but I could go start making AR-15 platform and sell it legally.
Well,
because my product wasn't on the named list, and they couldn't adjust the list to add more stuff to it because that wasn't allowed under the legislation.
Yeah. Okay, well, I know what you mean, but it's nothing like an an AK-47 or AK-74 that can almost literally be made in a normal machine shop. You just need some basic tools, but you can't do that with an AR-15 style weapon.
Yes, you can
have
build
to have a mill
with a mill and lathe.
Yeah, but it's a precision weapon.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can make it with a 3D printer.
and I would just like.
Has anyone tried that literally?
And I would just like to say this segment of Veterans Talk Weekly is brought to you by the cartoon Broadside.
Hey, Alan. I just sent you a link.
Oh,
I just sent you a link on Discord, Alan, for a raw file from my P1000. You're smarter with images than I am to see if it's an actual raw or a pretend Nikon raw.
Ooh, I'd love to see that too.
But yes, you can make the lower receiver of an AR-15 with a 3D printer, and it will work just fine.
Well, I mean, I can remember the story of somebody printing. I think it was a copy of what do you call them? A baby Colt or something like that. It was a revolver, and everything was 3D printed. Everything, except for the ammunition, of course. And that works, but not for long. But a high-power weapon like a it wasn't the upper; it was the lower.
Yeah, it's the lower receiver, which is the only part that in the U.S. is restricted. It's the only part that has a serial number.
Oh yeah, because that's the part that can make things fully automatic, for example.
Yep.
Yes, and you can buy an upper. You could be 10 years old and buy an upper for an AR-15, and the AR.
Armory.
Most people don't know this, but the AR does not mean assault rifle.
No, it's Armalite.
It means Armalite.
Yeah, it's just like the the anti-tank and shoulder-fired anti-armor rocket or weapon. I can't remember. The RPG. Everybody, that aren't in the military and have never been close to it, thinks that RPG means rocket propelled grenade.
Right.
It just sounds right.
Armalite. Armalite was the company that first made the rifle. So AR means Armalite rifle, just like the AK-47 means automatic Kalashnikov.
Yeah,
and
just
people
like
don't
the,
know that either.
just like the
and-
AR-1 and the AR-2 and several
Right.
other rifles that Eugene Stoner designed and produced under Armalite.
Right. So when you ask someone, well, what do you mean by assault rifle? And they're like, oh, it's called the AR-15. And you ask them, well, what does AR mean? And they're like, assault rifle. No.
But
actually, the AR-15 doesn't. AR-15 doesn't actually meet the definition of an assault rifle.
No, it's not.
It
Because
does
it's
not.
semi-auto.
Because to meet the definition of an
Yeah,
assault
but-
rifle, it has to be fully automatic.
Well,
Correct. Yes.
Is that the only
and
thing?
Mine isn't.
Well, so a true assault rifle is select fire capable or fully automatic, which means which the M16 fits. Your true original AKs fit. The
but that's
the
only
AR-10,
fully automatic, wasn't it?
Yeah, the
But they're not commercially available.
Correct. The
Yes, they are.
AR-10, no, you can manufacture one to be such. However, in the U.S., you still need the federal tax stamp, which is anywhere from a few $100 to a few $1,000s to do so.
Yeah, you got to have to even own one.
Yep. So when
like I have an M4 variant, like right here in my safe, but it's not fully auto. It doesn't even have 3-round burst.
Yeah, it's just semi-auto, single round,
And I'm
or
guessing-
safe.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing it's got a
don't get me wrong,
14-inch
it's
barrel
badass
as well,
rifle.
hasn't it? Schrodinger? It'll have a 14-inch barrel instead of the standard 12 for the M4.
Oh no, it's got
Or
the,
have
the,
you
the
got,
carbine
or
barrel.
is yours the short? Oh, have you actually got it as a short-barreled rifle then?
Yeah, I can turn on my webcam if you want.
Okay. It's
I
because
thought you had above average armed length. Ah, damn it! Your arms aren't you? Don't you have long arms? Yeah, I can remember my company commander. Not literally complaining, but he was, unhappy with the fact that he was issued a standard M16 for deployment, because and he he had short arms, so short arms that he was really having trouble with the armor, the fragmentation vests that we use. So after a lot of complaining, they finally shut him up by giving him a carbine instead, which he then he extended the stock fully anyway, and that almost his base. What the?
No, Jay, bring that back up. I want to point something out.
I was trying to work out which one was which.
That was great.
That's not M4.
Oh, got the tech.
Do link that in, Jay.
Tech shared that in Discord.
So look at the one below the 50 cal. So leftmost column, fourth one down.
Yep.
The Nerf gun.
Freaking Nerf gun.
Well, look to the one to the right of it, or the one up and to the right, the Daisy.
Oh, the freaking BB gun.
Oh, I was
Well, they got Terry's car in there too on the bottom right.
No, I'm absolutely sure that's a Mark III Cortina.
Cortina, yeah. I could see that was a Cortina.
That's a Mark III Cortina.
I mean, this is the
or if you're continental European like Bo, a Taunus.
Yeah.
I do recognize a way too modern version of the Uzi. I mean, I fired the older, the so-called original version of the Uzi. Both models, the one with wooden guards and the one with plastic guards. They were cool to shoot with.
Wait. It's technically not plastic. It is polycarbonate.
Personally, my favorite on there is the actual AK-47. So.
Yes.
I was thinking of.
Or is it a 74?
Or the M16.
Yeah.
P90. Such disappointment. It looks so awesome, and especially when you think about the high magazine capacity, but it was a failure, unfortunately.
That Nerf gun looked deadly.
Surely, how much extra do you have to pay to have the short,
Get the
under 14-inch barrel on that?
I'm sorry, say again?
I understood that if you had a rifle with a barrel less than 14 inches, you had to pay an NFA tax stamp, like for full auto or for sound mods.
Well, that would be for a shotgun.
I thought that was on rifles as well.
No, because the rifle, the barrel length doesn't really make any difference.
Except for the,
if you want a short barrel shotgun, then, for example, hold on, let me grab one.
What people don't like to have a long barrel.
Love the background, by the way.
I can't read it.
well,
It said leave or something.
if you have one with a long barrel, you have a better accuracy at larger, at further ranges, and you have a higher muzzle velocity too.
So here we got a short barrel shotgun.
Short or sawn off?
Short.
No, it's just a short barrel.
Okay.
You can still see the tip there.
Judging by the color, do you have beanbags in that thing, or does it have to be green?
No, actually, when I bought this,
Looks like a toy with the color code.
Right.
It does.
I bought it expecting it to show up in black, and it showed up in orange.
Would you prefer it all black, or you like it like the orange?
No, I've actually thought about spray painting it.
Yeah, it looks like a kid's toy.
I've got the
kid would pick it up and take it out backyard and pretend it's a toy.
Yeah. But this is the minimum. That's the minimum barrel length.
But the weight to give it. But the way to give it away is not a toy.
Yeah.
Well, in the US, isn't there a law that all toy guns have to have that annoying?
Have to have the red, the fluorescent ring on the barrel. Yep.
Right.
I had to sneak. I have a transformer. I had to sneak through customs. So.
What?
Yeah. Wait. Was it the hang on, Tech? Was it the old school Megatron where he went into the gun form?
No. It's a masterpiece Megatron.
Ah,
It does go into gun form.
Oh yeah.
So what do y'all think about
illegal?
Huh?
I was thinking about making a few videos about how to field strip the AR-15, clean it, and put it back together. Would that be something that you think people might want to look at?
Yeah, I would.
Whoops.
You broke it now.
The stuff that you put down on the ground cannot fall to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, well, was that gravity that caused that?
No, that was droppity.
Density.
No, that was definitely a droppity.
What would you? You could make it entertaining and start by doing a field stripping and then reassembly quickly.
Blindfolded.
Yeah, I mean it's not unreasonable.
That would be easy.
Yeah, I mean to us it would just be okay, but for people
practice, isn't it? Blindfolded.
To have gun to not the people that haven't been around guns, it could be a cool thing. It would be, it would get people's interest. I think is what I'm trying to say.
Well, maybe I could go out and fire it first. Have that like as a beginning. I do have a bump stock, so I could fire it rapid fire.
Do you have a cell phone or a video camera that can record in at least 200 frames per second? The iPhone 10 can record up to 240.
Well, okay, so we have a good related question from the chat for this. From Mike Bertelson. A guy at my work was arrested for making credible threats against 4 co-workers, and they found a 50 cal sniper rifle behind a false wall in his basement. Just how big of a gun can you buy today? The short answer depends on how much you want to pay for the stamp and the licensing approval.
Well, I think I showed y'all.
You could also buy mortars, couldn't you? Literally. 80 millimeter.
No, you need actual explosive licensing for that.
But I think I showed y'all pretty much the biggest round you can buy. Here a couple weeks ago, right? The 45-70. That's basically an elephant gun.
Oh yeah, the Smith and Wesson 12 that has
out there, isn't there?
that has what would you call it? Blow down vents just behind the nozzle muzzle to help it.
55 by 70 caliber. It will, if it's alive, and this will make it dead.
Yep.
Yeah, but is it powerful enough to make it dead a while after you shoot it, or?
I think you could probably just scare it to death.
You know you couldn't hunt any of the big game in Africa with a 45-70 anymore.
Why not?
Couldn't.
No, I don't think you could use it for elephant or any of the big 5. I'm pretty sure it 45-70 would no longer meet the energy requirements.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. I mean, I'm a big fan of the 45-70, and it'll drop a lot of big game, but elephant, rhino, those are different entirely.
The big 5.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking sort of
elk or
but then again,
wild boar.
It will drop anything it will drop anything native to North America.
Yes.
But what if you could get your hands on some some old ammunition, black tip ammunition? Get some armor piercing.
Again, you need special licensing in the U.S. for that.
It wouldn't be legal to shoot the stuff in Africa. You kind of need that big sort of 600, 750 Nitro Express with the solid lead bullet.
Take a look at.
It's such a weird name for it.
This is one of my favorites.
Sounds like a steam locomotive.
Is that the 1911?
Yeah, that's my 45 caliber 1911.
Nice one.
Love that gun.
Is that a simulated wood grip, or is it a wood grip?
Looks like a
No,
real
it's
nail
actual
driver.
wood grip.
Okay, it's just that there's a lot of backlighting, but not front lighting, so it's a bit difficult to see.
Yeah,
and on a low resolution.
I need to work on my lighting.
What kind of groups are you? Can you shoot with that?
I mean, I'm better with my Beretta than I am with this one, but I mean, I can hold at 50 yards a 6-inch group.
That's not bad.
With this one,
that's not bad at all.
Standing or prone? Oh, you'd probably do it civilian style. Yeah.
Yeah, standing. And then here's my Dirty Harry. That's my Dirty Harry.
Little lower.
Lower.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, lower.
I'm working on my camera.
Lower. There. No, there we go.
Right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Radar lock. Sorry.
Yeah, that's my Dirty Harry 357 Magnum.
Is that a homebrew a paint job on the front sight?
No, the fluorescent. No, they actually come with that. It's the night sight.
Yeah, that came on.
And again, I'm only streaming. Downstreaming at 360p because of bullshit. I can't really see it.
That'd be a good coyote gun.
You can see one of the rounds there.
Yeah, that'd be real nice for coyote.
Yeah, that'll put a hole in you.
You know, I always
yeah.
so I noticed like you have better performance with the Beretta. When I qualled on the Beretta, I did fine, and I afterwards got to shoot the 911 on one of the last mil-spec ones, and my grouping was better with the 911, the 1911.
The 1911.
Yeah. So what I attribute it to is I had better trigger control of the 1911 despite being the heavier round, simply because it fit my hand better.
Yeah. And I do pretty good. I've got also because they were switching to the 6 Sauer. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the differences between the 1911 and the Beretta with the trigger pull is that the 1911 has a straight back trigger.
Yeah.
Whereas the Beretta pivots, and some people find that a little disconcerting.
Yeah. So now they're rolling out the 6 Sauer. And I shoot my Beretta and my 6 Sauer pretty much equally well. I just prefer the Beretta because I've shot damn near 100,000 rounds, through them. So I'm just more used to it than I am my 6 Sauer or my 1911. So
by the way,
it's just whatever you're once you get used to something, you just that's just how it is.
Finally, a couple of weeks ago, plus some, so apparently some, I don't even know because I'm not in the loop anymore. But 2 weeks ago, plus an undisclosed amount of time, the Danish Defense Department finally, made their decision on what to get instead of the old 6 Sauer P210. They decided for the 6 Sauer P320 X carry. I haven't had to
What
have
caliber is that?
9mm.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had the pleasure of fooling around with it yet or getting certified. But
Yeah.
I hope I do. But again, I'm in the police division and not the infantry, so it'll probably be a long time before I actually get to it.
Well, what were you using before?
The P210, the Neuhausen, as it was called, the one that had an 8-round magazine, single file.
Yeah, the one I got here is this is the P226
that we can't see.
That's because Jay is sharing stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't. I mean, my Beretta was great. I mean, 15-round magazine. Like, what else could you possibly want?
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, I mean, I missed.
It's a great pistol.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the old Neuhausen. I mean, it's a beautiful gun. It's awesome to shoot, but to work with it, especially in a situation where you actually need it, it's a horrible weapon to use. Horrible.
Yeah, but the Beretta was great. The issue that a lot of the Spec Ops guys had was that they didn't like that it had a safety.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I can click the safety off in a fraction of a second, but they just they love that 6 Sauer doesn't have a safety.
Well, the Neuhausen, if you were lucky, you had one of the pistols that could disengage the safety with just one thumb. But if you weren't all that lucky, you would have to use one hand and your thumb to disengage the safety.
No, with the Beretta, it's ambidextrous. You can do it with either hand.
But with the old P210, the Neuhausen, not so much.
Yeah.
Hey
It
guys,
was
I'm going
horrible.
through the chat. Did I miss something?
Oh.
Dude, you should have been here. Just like 3 minutes ago, there were girls like getting naked on the table, man. Where were you?
Man.
And just when Main Gun said that, I was just looking at the last GIF that Jay sent me in a DM.
I mean, I'm just reading the comment from 82 here. Let me clarify something for you, homophobic shit stain. You made the claim that faith being belief without evidence was not in the definition. What was going on?
No,
geez.
that
I don't even
is
know what that was.
that is a longer standing one where I made a comment on someone else's video, and by the way, homophobic shit stain is being kind in describing the person who uses the username Jesus is Lord. So
Oh, wow.
so in there he
It's
was
an hard asshole.
well
to be.
in that original comment thread, he said that faith was not a position held without evidence. At which point I began.
Sorry. That's the definition of faith.
Yeah, I began sharing that exact segment of the definition from Merriam-Webster, and he was saying, well, that's not in the definition I got from a Google search.
Quote from the Bible: "Blessed are those who believe without seeing me."
No. You're you have to read it in. You have to understand it in. Well, you have to lie about it in context or something.
Yeah. Well, you missed it, Craig. Well, we were just doing
superstitions. You have to, deny what it says by saying, you have to read it and understand it in context. That's the usual go-to.
I'm sorry, but what context is there in?
I know.
You can beat your slave half to death if you want.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't die.
It's one of Matt Dillahunty's hobby horses. What part is, how can this be up to?
Oh yeah, that looks like a 226 right there, isn't it?
Ooh,
9mm. Yeah. That, and Fight the Flat, you just came in.
We were doing gun porn. I can turn the webcam back on and continue doing gun porn if you want.
Yeah, the Danish Defense Department finally made up their mind as to which pistol to, get instead of the old, beautiful but horrible in use Sig Sauer P210.
This is the P320.
As nice as the SA80.
It's the P320X.
Yeah, this one is. That's the new one that they decided on. I was hoping for the Glock 17, but nope.
I mean, this one here is, this is a solid ass pistol right here. There's no safety. It's got a
trigger, isn't it?
Just keep the pointy end away from you. That's the safety.
No, you have to clean the barrel by licking it.
Yeah, I mean it's got a nice. I think it's a 12-round mag.
Right, ASMR magazine in, but there we go.
ASMR magazine.
No, the sound.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But the sights, they look chunky, as in it would be easy if on a cold day and you have wet hands and you can tear up your hands if you're not careful. The sights.
Well, here's the
if
thing.
you scrape.
No, the sights are good.
No, the sides, the grips, and here's the thing. I prefer.
No.
I prefer having that bit of extra, and even then, I'll be honest. It doesn't matter the weather. If I'm out shooting, I actually have gloves. I actually have a pair of mechanics gloves that I wear just to help increase that tactile control.
Yeah. Well, hey, I was brought up, with the mindset of you do not have bare skin on weapons. Period. You cannot fire unless you have gloves on, and handle any type of weapon without gloves on.
Now,
especially Afghanistan, you could literally burn yourself, even if it's just been lying in the sun.
I have mixed feelings about that because
Nomex pilot's gloves. So
yeah, but I have got gloves tangled up in the action of my weapons before.
Right.
And anybody that has probably fired, hundreds or thousands of rounds has probably done the same thing.
Yep. And I've tried shooting twice wearing gloves, and I just cannot do it. I have always shot barehanded.
Yeah, well,
I like shooting barehanded.
Yeah,
I like shooting
what I meant earlier is that the sights, the gun sights on that thing, that they're a bit, they're standing proud, and they're blocky. I'm sure they rounded the corners, but just on, as I could see it, it looked a bit pointy in a way that if you have, if you've been out in rainy weather all day, moist and everything, your skin is just
moist.
Raised. You have moist. You have raisin skin.
Moist.
It would be easy to thank you. Scrape your just on the gun sights alone.
What weight are they? Like in their weight? I don't know what that'd be in kilo. You probably only know imperial.
Oh,
I know they're just white. They're white gun sights.
No, but the weight, the actual weight of the firearm.
Oh, the weight of the actual firearm.
That one, if I remember right from the conversion, is a little over a kilo.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't weigh as much as my 1911 right here.
Yeah, the 1911 is a hefty beast, and that's where different people have different preferences. Like, I preferred that extra control from the 1911 because I felt more stable with it, but also, if you notice, the hand grip is slimmer than the Beretta, which to me made it easier to handle and keep under proper control. So I could shoot a 1911 single-handed. I cannot comfortably do that with a Beretta.
Does this take you back to Bess?
Most 1911s are going to be pretty much all steel, aren't they? Unlike a modern 9mm.
Yep, that too.
That's going to be lots of not steel.
Okay.
Well, that's one of the things that I did like about the Beretta is that it did have a fatter grip to it, and I've got long fingers. I can wrap around it. And the Beretta actually weighs. It's a big gun for only being a 9mm.
Yeah, I can grab mine if we want to look at it real fast.
But it's also a double stacked magazine, so you would expect the grip to be fatter accordingly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I can hold 15 rounds in the mag.
Yeah.
But,
do all pistols like that? They say there's one always in the gun, even though you take the magazine out or something. Once you've fired or something.
Well, yeah, you hold one in the chamber and then 15 in the magazine.
Okay.
Although some of them, for example, the P2 210 Neuhausen, you could have a chambered. You could have one in the chamber, but if you didn't have the magazine in, you wouldn't be able to fire that round.
Yeah, it's got the mags.
Weapons that has that issue, but it's weird.
Law enforcement likes the ones that have the mag safety in it, because if an officer has his weapon drawn and a perp tries to wrestle that weapon away from him, the officer can, with his thumb, dump the magazine.
And
so
then you won't be able to fire the.
Exactly. There's none in the chamber. Yeah.
Well, even if there's one in the chamber, if he dumps that magazine and the weapon has a mag safety, the weapon will not. You cannot fire it.
Okay. But that is not an issue on the Neuhausen, because you cannot dump a magazine. You physically have to pull the latch away from the magazine, and then pull. It won't drop on its own. You have to literally pull it.
Well, that military arm versus civilian protection arm, and that's where the police. What we're talking about is during an altercation with a perpetrator. The police can just literally hit the mag release. It'll drop out, and then the weapon is safe.
Yeah. Now, Kat, what was
Yeah.
the weight
So
of that?
here's
the other one?
this is the Beretta M9 right here. The 92 FS.
And what's different about that to the others? Anything?
Well, this is the basically not identical, but as close as you can get to the mil spec.
For
M9.
civilian, yeah.
So so you could drop the mag out, but you still got one in the chamber, and you can see there's
that one. And with that one, you
I
are
don't think you're
able
going to be able to
fire.
see this, but
Yeah.
No.
There's
you can see like right over here. There's a little indicator
Yeah, do you
that
have
shows
a
there's a piece running around. It's a little piece that just sticks out.
you can feel it better than you can see
Do
it.
you have a small? Don't you have a small flashlight or something? That would help with that.
Don't matter.
To show
Well, it sticks out just a tiny bit.
Yeah,
You said you
But
can
it's
feel
really
it
hard
with
to
your finger.
feel it in the dark.
You can feel
Yeah,
it
it's-
though if you
Right.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of red on it.
Yeah, and then-
Yeah.
So
You're
by the way,
but it-
the empty weight of the P320 X carry, it's 760 grams. Ready to fire, but without the ammunition.
Yeah, and I'm not a real big fan of real light pistols like that. They just don't. I don't feel I have the control, and lighter pistols have a higher muzzle raise to them. It makes it that much more difficult to reacquire your target.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to shoot one in 9mm.
Yeah, I mean, since this pistol was bought for soldiers that already are carrying around more than 40 kilos when they're out on a foot patrol. Way more than 40 kilos. It doesn't make all that much of a difference. That tiny bit more weight if it's heavier than this new one. But for
that's kind of
aiming
why
at
we
accuracy,
went away
I
from
understand it.
the. That's kind of why we went away from the 7.62 rounds in the rifles and went to the 5.56 because it actually did make a little bit of a difference.
But then we got rid of our but we got rid of our unfortunately our machine gun, the German machine guns 7.62.
Yeah.
And what did we get instead? The M60, the latest version model of it, or one of
well,
the
the
main.
M60 is still a 7.62.
So we're still back to so we're still back to 7.62.
Do you still use the M60?
No, not still. We had the MG62. That is the modernized version of the machine gun that the Nazis used against us in the Second World War.
Right.
And I can't remember when, but several years ago, it was they took it away from us, and a machine gun team, that's two people, the gunner and the helper, they were instead both.
You got the gunner and the loader.
Yeah. They were both issued LSVs instead. So that's just basically an M16 with a heavier barrel and more standard magazines and a couple of can't remember if it was 50 or 100 round drum magazines. Then later, and I think it was either last year.
Why not
they mixed it up and added. They didn't take away our new LSVs, but they added the M60.
Yeah, because the M60 is a little bit antiquated. I mean, it's a badass gun.
I
think
the one we have. I think it's ugly.
The saw is a.
Wait, did you just say ugly?
5.56 caliber.
No. It reminds me of a story I read on Squirrel's Discord today that I have to read the title of it really quick. I'm sorry to interject from the gun porn, but this is hilarious and wrong on so many levels. Italy is outraged as court finds victim is too ugly to be raped.
What?
What?
Oh, I
Oh,
love
yeah, I
it.
thought you were going somewhere else. What the?
Is that are they talking about my ex-mother-in-law?
I don't know.
What date is it? It's not April yet, is it?
For
No, not April
those,
1st, is it?
for those who have missed it, let's reread that byline.
Yeah, slowly.
Italy outraged as court finds victim too ugly to be raped. Now let me read the first paragraph that comes with this. Italy's Justice Ministry has ordered a preliminary inquiry into an appeals court ruling that overturned a rape verdict in part by an argument that the woman who was attacked was too ugly to be a credible rape victim.
Oh my God!
Sounds legit.
Yeah, well, back in the 80s, an Italian court found that you couldn't rape a woman in the original Fiat 500 because it was so small. Because it was so small that they would have to be consenting.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
to cooperate to allow it.
Interesting.
What about a Volkswagen Up
Only in Italy.
or a Fiat Panda?
Yeah, well, come
I
on,
can
that
imagine
original
that,
Fiat
I
500
can
is
see
a bit tiny, isn't it?
I can imagine you and Alan trying to do that.
I stand 6 foot. I stand 6 foot, and I did it in the back of a bug.
Hang on.
Oh, that's back of a bug's
Yeah,
not
but a
too
bug's
bad.
a lot bigger than a Fiat 500.
Yeah, to be fair.
Wait, hang on. From the chat, Darkseed, when did Reds go to Italy and get raped?
I remember that.
Okay, Schrödinger, I gave you.
So wouldn't Jaren be too dumb to be believed?
You know, Jaren is not dumb. He's a con artist.
He is.
So I wouldn't call him dumb. He's a con artist. Yeah.
I've seen on the wall there, Schrodinger, you got some T-shirt prints ready to go. When are they coming out for you, dead or alive?
You'll have to wait, and you won't know until you look.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought you
kind of set
that.
You kind of
Wait,
set
wait.
yourself up for that one.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I was waiting for a reply like that. So you won't know if you're going to get one or not.
Yeah, I was gonna have to say you have to wait by your post office.
Send me money, and
So I'll send you money.
may
Okay,
not-
yeah. You may or may not get it.
Right.
You may or may not get a picture of it.
Hey, Jared, do we know any MS or CS rates that can verify this one?
I do, but she doesn't really go online. But she would laugh and say, "Oh no, of course that never happened."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just like speeding. It's only legal if you get caught.
Swearing like a sailor class at boot camp, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the greatest CS on one of my ships. When I would get off watch, she would come to my stateroom and bring me a sandwich if I had missed lunch because I was on watch.
Not sandwich.
Greatest CS ever.
What's a CS?
Culinary specialist.
Yeah, cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would stop by my stateroom with a plate with a sandwich and chips, and say, "Sir, I know you missed lunch because you were on watch. Here you go." Greatest CS in the history of the universe.
And by the way,
Totally was not banging her.
And
You weren't banging her.
I'm
sorry.
just saying, I wasn't.
No. You weren't giving, but you were receiving.
I was receiving a sandwich and some chips.
I thought you.
Oh, so that's what you young guys
just
call
thought
it
you
these
said
days.
begging, but I thought no, he didn't say banging.
and yeah, so this right here is why if someone makes E7 and above, you watch out.
Pretty much.
What did I go? I can't find anything to argue with about that.
That's why they invented senior enlisted advisors. For the reality check.
We all know that EXO, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, why does that suggestion box not look like a bin? Refuse bin, or
Well, you got to keep up appearances.
No, that's a British and funny as hell TV series from Britain.
Yeah, we had an EXO like that. I was on board too when he got passed up for the third time for Commanders.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
She
yeah.
must have loved life after that.
Unless I get this completely wrong, was that actually a thing? If you apply for a promotion 3 times, you cannot do it anymore, or you get thrown out or whatever.
Yeah.
If so,
well,
why?
no. When you are an officer, commission officer, you have 3 chances to get promoted. Well, basically 2. Your first chance up, you normally get promoted. If not, you get a second chance. And if you don't make it that second chance, then you basically have about 18 months in which you're getting processed out. So if you don't make it the second chance up, you got 18 months and you're done.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I disliked about the military is that if you're not moving up, you're moving out.
Yes.
And I was perfectly happy being a corporal and a gunner when everybody wanted to make me a sergeant and a TC, and I didn't want that. I liked being a gunner.
I know a lot of people that were like that.
Yeah, it's just like, of course we have to do it because Jared's here and all, and well, kind of I am too. Just like Captain Kirk. Oh, sorry, he's not the real captain. Of course, I'm talking about Sean Picard.
You basically get considered dead weight, and you're in the way of people. That's the way it's looked at that point in time.
I can see if it's 3 times and you're out, and roughly speaking, it's a way of diminishing the possibility of getting corporation issues.
Well, and keep
from better or.
Yeah, well, and keep in mind, just like on the enlisted side, the officer side, there's a bottleneck. It is an inverse funnel. You have so many people going, you are going to have those drop by the wayside. But does that really mean that people who are good in that position need to automatically be swept aside for someone who doesn't have the time in?
The great thing about the XO thing, though, was because of that as well. It means he automatically lost his XO billet.
Oh.
Because you have to be in line.
Yeah. To be an XO, that's the thing that people don't realize is you get your XO slot, and as long as you perform adequately as the XO, your next billet is as a CO. Unless there is
in most situations, especially today, they do the XO-CO fleet up. This is a new thing. Well, in the last 5 to 10 years, when you go to a ship and you're the XO, when that skipper leaves, you become the skipper. It's sort of a new thing that they do, and I think it makes sense.
Aircraft carriers have been doing that for a while.
Yes, they have, and then amphibs, big deck amphibs started doing it and now pretty much all ships are doing it.
Still probably the most relevant cartoon here.
Oh yes.
So you didn't read it until now?
No, I didn't. I was taking a look at the chat and a few other things.
What do we got here?
Yeah, you run into that too, Mike. You said my rate was undermanned, so advancement opportunities were there, but billets weren't.
That's one of the things that I really did like about being an AT. The promotion opportunities were great.
Well, until you were going for E6 and above.
Oh, I made E6 pretty fucking quick.
Had I stayed in and been eligible for the test, I probably would have as well.
Yeah,
but,
you would have.
But you see the funnel, like up to E4, it's pretty fucking wide open. Up to E5, it's still pretty wide open, but kind of narrowed. Then you look at the numbers for E6, and it's like a third.
Oh yeah,
in FTs we were like, it was pretty much wide open up to E5, and then E6 was the sudden bottleneck.
Yeah, my first time up for E6 was mathematically impossible, and my second time, I think I would have had to have a perfect score to do it, and then my third time I made it. And each time was with EP evals.
Yeah, for us, promotions to E6 were frozen. The only way to get E6 is to go to a B billet.
Yeah.
Seeing what
and that's what happens sometimes for like BMs and like Holtex. Like I knew Holtex that could like score perfect on the exam and have an EP and still not make it because they just didn't promote anybody.
Yeah.
How about this comic?
Like I don't know about boomers, but like on fast attacks, there was like one E6 FT billet per fast attack. That was it.
Yeah, same on the
I
boomer.
imagine it wouldn't be different much on the boomer, but I wasn't sure about boomers.
Yeah, the nice thing and yet bad thing about the NavET side of the submarine fleet is that we bottleneck literally at chief, because you could be an E6 nav, no problem, and there are plenty of boats that always need an A nav, but to make chief, it was, you had to fight tooth and nail to get those.
Yeah, it was a little bit easier for E6 than E7 and FT, but it was still pretty damn close.
Yeah, that's why it was great to be at AT.
Yeah,
because we could make it. We could make it we could shoot all the way up to E9.
Well, and when you look at
fairly easily.
Well, and when you look at it on the AT side of it, we had plenty of shops on every ship and every shore station that needed an E6. So the billets weren't really a problem, and especially when you then look at your special billets, like being an A or C school instructor, or even doing RDC duty and recruiting, we just pretty much fed into all of those, so the billets weren't the issue. But what I found interesting is looking back is like, had I toughed out the bullshit for another year, I would be looking at E8 right now.
Oh yeah,
because
and that's what I said when I was when I became an officer. When I was at 01, I was like, shit, I could have been an E8 right now. Like, because being an 01 is SWO is not fun. And I was thinking, fuck, I could have been a senior chief right now. And been in the chief's mess, like fucking off.
Hey, Mike, Nuke MM got out in 91. Yeah, if you were up in the New England area, then my dad. My dad was...
Is that good or bad?
Could go either way. My dad was a nuke MM, retired as a senior chief in 98 out of Groton. He was running the IMF at Groton when he left, and that was actually the reason why he got held from retiring for 3 years, because the Navy didn't have someone to fill his billet.
Okay, the only thing I heard there was that he was part of the Impossible Missions Force. What the hell is an IMF?
Intermediate Maintenance Facility.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's funny because what Mike's talking about is very similar what we would run into in FT advancement exams. But even though our rate was submarine only, when I was in, depending on the class of boat, there was actually about 5 different fire control systems in use at the time. In the advancement exams, they always highlighted one of them. Like they concentrated on one of them on each different advancement exam, but you never knew which one you were going to get. So you had like a 1 in 5 chance, or I should say a 4 in 5 chance of ending up with a fire control system you had no clue about the equipment with.
Oh, so when I was going through, and so the Navy got smart and started releasing the bibliographies that were more accurate for what the test was actually going to be about. I remember the first test cycle while I was in Japan. One of the guys in my shop, who was an E4 at the time, he made E4 before I got to basic training. That's how long this guy had been in for years before me as an E4. And we were both going for E5 at the same time. We made it at the same time. But his reaction when the bibliography came out was hilarious. Because it came out, he read it, and he was beside himself because the system specific was the main bench that he worked on. TACAN.
I've got a great story. So there was this guy. His last name is Collier. And he was an E4 when I joined the Navy. And when I made E5, he was still an E4. And so the next cycle, he did not make E5. And my buddy, who was an E5, said, Collier, did you make E5? And he said, nope. And he said, then go take out the trash.
That's not a burn, that's a slow burn.
That was
I could see him just lowering his head, just started looking at his feet and just gliding away.
There were
the thing was, when I was an E2 and an E3 and he was an E4, he gave me so much shit. But then I was an E5 and he was still an E4.
Yeah, and you leapfrogged him, yeah.
People are E2s? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I had a friend who was aircrew, not non-commissioned officer aircrew in the RAF, and he got to put up his sergeant's tapes 9 months into his training. He came out of the RAF 27 years later. He was still a sergeant.
Jesus.
Wow.
Again, you did have a different ranking system. Didn't you?
When he joined up, they had time promotions, so you got promoted. After so long as you got your recommended and everything, you got promoted. And then not long after he joined up, they changed that to promotion to post only. So you had to have a post of the correct rank to go to. And for the guys who were on time promotion, they basically said, well, we won't promote you, but we'll give you all the pay rises and pension perks and everything else. So that was fine. And he always got he always got the assessments and everything and recommended for promotion, but there was never ever a billet for him because there was always somebody slightly above. But this actually got to keep him in the Air Force for much, much longer.
Well, yeah.
Because every time they came round to shedding personnel, they were shedding flight sergeants and warrant officers. They weren't shedding experienced sergeants because they actually needed the experienced sergeant. And as he got up towards his 22, they actually signed him on to age 55 to do the full 30-something years because they didn't have enough experienced sergeants doing the job.
And he probably got a great pension.
Well, yeah, he would have done, apart from they then did the dirty on him because 3 years before he was due to come out, they made him redundant so that he wouldn't quite get his full fucking pension.
Oh, that sucks.
That was a friendly little gesture then.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you want to know the real stick the knife in and twist it? So they basically kicked him out. So he invested some of his pension money into opening a small business nearby where he'd been stationed. And 2 years later, they come capping out begging him to come back in because we really made a big mistake throwing you out, and please come back.
Brilliant.
Talk
He did
about a
tell
dead
them
rate.
to go off in short, sharp, jerky motions. But
Corpsman always sucks.
Yeah, I'm trying to find like a general list from the Navy because they usually release it by now of all the different rates advancement perspectives, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is the only one that came up.
Yeah, so
for this year.
So when you're looking at this, that is the percentage of eligible pay grade before up to that pay grade to go into that. HM is always low, but so on the Navy side, when you hit 12 years consecutive of not getting caught, otherwise known as good service, your chevrons change color on your dress blue uniform from red to gold. And HM is the only E4 gold I have ever seen.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's a whole shitload of HMs.
Yes.
Because you can be an HM that works in the ER, and I'm not saying this is true, but just as an example, that gets promoted super fast, or you could be an HM on a ship that doesn't.
Yep.
It just depends on where you are. It's really kind of the luck of the draw and how good you are.
sorry, Jay. I have not you, Jay Brown, the other Jay that's in here. I gotta give him a hard time because, dude, you are going soft. Raised in Michigan, yup. Stationed at Fort Drum, yeah, I've been in similar conditions. But now living in California, he's feeling cold. So
at least it's not a Florida man.
Well, here's my question. What constitutes cold in California? Are we talking 50s? Or are you actually getting down into the 40s?
I didn't even know that it could be cold in California.
Yeah, it's been raining over there lately, they said.
Oh, I had rain today off and on, but it was still 58, and I went out on the bike without needing the thermal liner.
Well, this is a pretty warm evening. This is one of the warmest evenings we've had in a while, and it's right at freezing.
Yeah. But in the morning it'll be colder. It'll be mid 40s when I hit the road in the morning to take the bike down to the shop to get its routine checks and everything done. Wait, more meritorious promotions?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
What
do we?
Of course, it comes out on Valentine's Day too.
I thought that ranks were always given based on your role.
No, no. Okay, so rank. There's billet. There's billet, then rank. Billet precedes rank. So, like when I first got to Japan, I was only an E4, but I was immediately given the billet of production supervisor, which meant that I had E5s working for me. I had people of a higher pay grade, of a higher rank, working under me. So there's
that was a production suit. That is so much fun.
Yeah. So there's that. But the way advancements work in the Navy, for competition from to E4, E5, and E6 is held twice a year by a fleet-wide test where you get a score from that written test. They also factor in your eval scores and
pulled that thought.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna pull up the calculator.
I just looking for the stuff. I actually found a site that shows the calculator. Actually.
Okay. So
well, at least the
FMS sheet.
Yeah.
Which FMS is final multiple score.
What I think this article probably is talking about is CAP.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to.
MAP, actually.
So, your at final multiple score FMS. The way it works out is you have your standard test scores, your awards points, your time and pay grade, and all of them factor your eval bit. They do these calculations to weight everything. And then you get your final multiple. Based on the number of slots they have available in that pay grade, that is what will determine the cutoff point for who passes the test and advances, for who passes the test but doesn't advance, P&A, which does add points to your next go-round. Not as much as it used to, but hey. And then your people who do not pass.
Let me see if I have one of those in my folder.
And on there, it'll give you percentile of where you scored for the test, and the higher above the cutoff you are will determine how soon you actually get paid for that new rank. Everyone who is eligible for advancement, who has been selected for advancement, they all go through the same, what's called a frocking ceremony, where you are then allowed to wear the new rank.
A frock?
Yeah. Well, you wear the new rank and you are given the authority of it, but you are not paid yet.
You don't get no motherfucking money.
And that one, of course, fell completely to the floor. I was trying to make a bad joke.
The authority comes first. The pay comes
Yanks. Later. Well, I was thinking that you Yanks probably don't know what a frock is.
A fancy
I do
hat.
believe that it's predominantly a British type of garment for the ladies.
But no,
old style.
But yeah, so you end up wearing the next pay grade up, the next rank. You have the full authority, but you're not being paid yet.
I think it was 6 months. I think it was.
You have to be paid. So the final group,
you had to be paid. Well,
the final group starts getting paid prior to the next cycle.
Next group is frocked.
Prior to the frocking for the next cycle. So you have roughly 6 months from frocking date to when you should be are required to be getting paid. I was always first increment, so I got it the next pay cycle.
We had something similar in the Marine Corps, except the way it worked is this is how it typically worked. You know, when you got promoted, it got pinned on in a ceremony in front of the company, and then they get to beat it in. And,
a bit like how the German Bundeswehr, a kind of reserve stuff, when they do field promotions, Ow.
Nice
Okay,
tacking
that's
on.
not pins. That's just you know your shoulder tags. No metal.
Yeah, we call that
Yeah.
tacking. We call that tacking on in the Navy. But
Tacking on
In
the
this case,
weld
instead of hitting a metal pin in, they just used all their upper strength. The commander and the CO, the CO and XO, I guess it would be, one to each shoulder, and they slam it in.
Yeah.
Well, and
I saw that a couple of years ago. It was funny. Even the Dodger guys that was given those promotions, one or two of them came to their knees after getting slammed just that once. But then again, the officers, they were some big bears.
my first pair of Dolphins is horribly mangled. I'll just leave it at
I'm old enough that we still did the you would get your crow tacked on by everybody who was a petty officer, and holy shit, like my arm. Yeah.
Well,
Was it a bit like on rite of passage or something?
I when I made E4 in Florida, I had to.
Yeah, that was the worst one. Was E4?
Oh my god, I had to go around so fucking far.
I unfortunately missed that though, because at my point in time, FTs they were auto advancing to E4, so we were E4s at an A school.
The thing was, like, nobody hit me really hard,
but the
it's
cumulative
just that 100 people hit me
in the same spot.
Not really hard. It holy fuck! It added up.
Well, we got that in addition to our blood stripes as well. They would split
the blood stripes. Yeah.
They'd split the company.
The Marine Corps. Yeah.
They'd split the company in half, and then you would walk the gauntlet, and you'd step forward, and one guy on each side of you, into the nice thump into the shoulders, and a knee into the side of your thighs.
Yeah.
And
then you step forward.
And you get extra points for not whimpering, right? You get extra points for not whimpering?
I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. I think I know where Gene Roddenberry got the idea for the Klingon Rite of Ascension.
And actually, I was kind of thinking that myself when I first saw that episode. But anyhow, you go through that, and you get and you are on paper and on your collar, you are that rank, and you have now the authority of that rank.
Yep.
And then Kansas City forgets to pay you.
Oh.
Because so your pay is fucked up the following month, and you're still being paid as a Lance Cooley. The next month, they realize they done fucked up, and so they overpay you. And then the following month, they realize that they overpaid you, and now you've got no pay due.
That happened to me when I went from a Lieutenant JG to a lieutenant. They failed to pay me for a whole year, in which I was trying to get them to fucking fix it. And once I did, they paid me my back pay in its entirety, but they overpaid me.
Yep.
So then for the next 2 months, they took money back. It's, it's like, what
of course, it's not your money, so you have to pay it back somehow. But just doing it, just taking it, I mean, instead of just making an agreement on, paying it back over a half a year, according to how your economy goes.
Yeah. Well, they gave me $12,000, and then, no, it was actually like $14,000, but they were supposed to give me $12,000. So for the next 2 months, they took $2,000 out of my pay for each month without even telling me that they were going to do it.
Okay. I was going to say, well, that would be legal, but then I remember something from last week or the week before, where you said, well, no, if you're in the service, your ass is basically the property of the DoD.
You are at the mercy of the pay personnel in Kansas City, Missouri. Every single service member gets paid out of that same facility in Kansas City, and it warms the cockles of my heart to learn that they are still just as fucked up as they ever were.
Oh, they're never
because
gonna get
since
better.
you went through it, everybody else has to go through it.
It's tradition. If it wasn't bullshit, it wouldn't be the U.S. military.
If you didn't get subjected to at least some kind of bullshit bureaucracy or whatever, it wouldn't be the military wherever you are.
And if you think that officers have a better time, no.
Oh no, they fuck everyone up
Only when you go.
equally in that bit. But even then, who's worse? Is DFAS worst or is it Millington? Because those fuckers in Millington took $400 a month out of my pocket for being in Japan. Because I found out the billet that I was in, the station that I had in Japan that took me there, had what's called AIP, Area Incentive Pay. In order to get my orders to go through, one of the detailers went in and changed my bid on the AIP to 0.
Well, that's a friendly thing to do. Helping you out with that stuff, yeah.
Here's the fucked up thing, though. I could not do anything about it.
Were you notified about it?
No.
Or did you find out by
found out
happenstance?
Found out when I got the orders and I started asking, "Hey, where's the AIP?" Oh, you didn't put in a bid for one. No, motherfucker. My bid has not changed. Oh, well, it must have gotten lost.
Yep.
Detailers.
No.
Yep. Fuck you very much.
Yeah. Detailers are the worst.
And here's what I think played into it. The way the process worked, so the E4 detailers were going around the country at the time to actually get some face-to-face time. And the detailer, the E4 detailer who came to NAS Jax was actually the E4 West Coast detailer. And when I sat down and talked to him and we laid out the plan, we had it all golden. It was with him in person. We had it set up. It was beautiful because it was, I either was going to go to Japan or I was going to be extended in Jacksonville for a year and then get off active duty. Because of the AIP and because of the budget constraints that the Navy was beginning to push, it was a 50-50 shot on whether or not the orders were actually going to be allowed to go through. Well, after 3 cycles of the orders not being approved and not going through, there was one last chance, and the detailer that I had been working with, we touched base again, agreed, yep, the plan is still in place, they haven't gone through yet, this is the last time, you'll know by the end of the month. This was August. September 1st comes around, I get orders, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I see the orders, AIP is gone, and the assigned detailer who signed off on them was the East Coast guy.
Yep. That makes sense.
With orders issued September 1. Guess when my detach month was?
The next month?
No, September. I had 4 weeks to do everything to process to transfer overseas, which meant an overseas screening, which meant a sea duty screening, and all that other fun stuff.
Bullshit.
And because it wasn't just me, it was my then wife who was going over with me. We had to do all of her screening too. To which my command at first was like, well, where are you in your transfer? It's like, the orders literally just came in. Where do you think I am? Like, wait, you didn't know? It's like, no, because this shit wasn't supposed to happen. This was what was supposed to happen. But no, this jackass decided to butt in, take literally $400 a month out of my pocket just to fill the billet. Do you really think that? And here's the kicker: all these screenings, you cannot do the screenings unless you have orders to go overseas. You have to have orders in hand to do it.
Now, wouldn't it be at the very minimum against the rules, or at least illegal for him to do that without at least telling you?
It's almost not really their fault.
Well, yeah. Basically, I don't care if it's an error of the system or the protocols or the person being a jackass. It should be illegal to do stuff like that. To make changes to something, to your financial situation in any type of way without even telling you, even after the fact.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, that's. But then again, you don't own yourselves.
Well, and
you're not your own property.
Well,
apparently.
and here's the phrase that they use.
Position.
Well, here's the phrase that they use to indemnify themselves from repercussions like that. It's the needs of the no. It's the needs of the Navy.
Needs of the Navy.
Oh, fuck off! If it was, a national emergency, somebody, the red phone rings, that kind of thing. Okay, fair enough. But in peacetime, no.
Everything is needs of the Navy. Absolutely fucking everything.
That reminds me of that saying: the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Or the one.
Well, if you're an E5, then your detailer is an E6. And he's answering to an E7 who is telling him what to do.
These billets need to be filled.
Right. And he's... what is he supposed to do? He's
not treat anyone else as like a dick.
But I mean, I'm asking, like,
the service ain't fair. It ain't ever going to be fair, and nothing about it is fair.
Right.
And if you expect fair, then
you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Or no, you're what's the word?
We were going to Okinawa for a 6-month UDP, and one of the guys in my platoon, good buddy of mine, he was a tennis player. He was a pro level tennis player, and so when the word came that this fellow was in our company, they made a request for him to be transferred while we were there to the competition tennis team that Third Mardiv had. And so he went into training and had to retrain his body for playing tennis, and did that for a solid 2-3 months. And they gave him time off to play tennis, to get worked up with this shit. We hit the island.
You mean Force officers PT?
Yeah. Oh, his PT was not like our specific regimen that he had to follow. But he was good. I mean, you've seen guys. I'm sure everybody's seen guys that could hit, on the bounce, put a ball and get it stuck in the fence, the chain link fence behind him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy could put the ball through the fence. His serves were that hard. Anyhow, we hit the island. We get to battalion. We get checked in, and he's all ready to, he hasn't unpacked his sea bag. He's ready to hop on the bus and go to Camp Butler. And they said, no, we're not going to let you go. Why? Well, we need you here. Doing What? So, well, we got 17 deadline tanks, and we need to get them all up and running. And you can't spare one body. They said, fine, fuck you, my back hurts.
Well, there was a guy in my in my squad. In the beginning, when we were conscripts, we were only, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks in, and all of a sudden, one of our guys, he found out that he was allergic to the some of the oils that they used in the motor pool. And he was, by the way, he was already a professional car mechanic. He did not want to be in the what do you call that? Maintenance platoon.
Motor
So he just faked an allergy. I don't know how the hell he did it. He made his he made his skin irritated, probably by using some gasoline or whatever for a while, soaking it or something. But he also managed to get some blisters, not by burning, but it was bad. He did not like that crap.
Yeah,
that's the way he got out of it. Just like another one, a couple of the other guys later, right after boot camp. Where Commander points out the people that would like to have as non-commissioned, squad leaders, but private squad leaders and not sergeants. Some of them, I mean, if you get picked, you get picked. If you don't like it, tough for you. You could not get out of it unless for medical reasons, until they heard from someone, well, hey, when my brother was in blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden they got caught smoking a joint. What?
Yeah,
they just got caught smoking a joint on base. That was it. They didn't get into any trouble, legally, with the police or anything, or the military police, but they suddenly weren't, squad leader material.
Yeah,
that was too easy.
Submariner that had his fit rep up there.
I had a question about that. Was that your last eval?
That was my eval, last regular eval that I did.
Rep, right? Because you were a chief.
No, that was my last regular eval before I separated. The next one I'm showing is my SEP eval. I wanted
chiefs had fit reps.
I was not a chief. I was only in E5.
Oh, it's an ETC, I thought.
Yeah, that's my chief who was there.
Yeah, the chief was the signatory. The
raider.
You're seeing
that. And I saw a certain name, Vicky.
My bad.
Nope, not that Vicky.
Yeah, that's actually how it is. That's how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
I'm thinking of someone else.
It's amazing how I go up to a 3.86 and recommended for retention with an early promote.
Well, how the
good? Well, it's a 1 of 1, so come on.
Yeah,
it's the SEP eval, but no. So look at the retention recommendation, and look at the number.
Okay.
That's a good eval.
I'm gonna go up, back up to the end of the other one.
That's the SEP eval. Let's take a look at the one prior.
Okay.
Because this is what caught my attention.
Now, mind you, I told Jared the amount of days in a Discord DM between the two of these evals. 94 days. Went from this.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And this.
You're popular.
What? Ooh,
fuck.
That's when I got out. That's how popular Nav ETs were, especially ones that could go teach C school.
Now, here's my question. At the time of the regular eval, they already knew you were planning on getting out?
No. Well, no, I think they did. Because at the time, I was... they didn't mention it here, but at the time, I had taken over as the LPO of our division because we were in dry dock.
Mhm.
and both of the first classes were up with the shipyard working on making sure all the systems were tagged out properly and doing all the paperwork for all that stuff. So I had to do
You
all
had
the.
your dolphin already at this point.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming.
yeah. I had those in 2001. But
During refit, expertly maintained the paint shack, supplying accountability of all parts, tools, and hazardous materials.
oh, you have no
As
clue
far as-
how.
As far as dolphins go, if you're already in serious issue if you hadn't got them by the time you've been 9 months on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already dink at that point.
On boomers, it's a little bit more relaxed because we only get the boat 3 months at a time. But yeah, I was close to being dink. I got it at 11 months. So, but if you look here at this stuff, I had been doing it long before. I'd been doing this part long before. I've also been doing the pub petty officer for quite a while too. Let me stop sharing this and go back down to.
Well, who were those 5 that had significant problems? Like, holy fuck!
That's all of the E5s at that time.
This is kind of an unrelated question, but I was just looking at there on your ship, and it was SSGN.
Yes.
Not SSBN. What
Yes,
happened?
post-conversion from ballistic to purely guided missile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
some
in
of
the
the
middle
IO
of
class were
conversion
converted to launch Tomahawks instead of ballistics.
and launch seals and all that.
and
fun
it was.
stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
it wasn't.
They wreck
only
people.
Tomahawks?
What was that, Bo?
It was only Tomahawks, or not? No.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know much about
Yeah,
these stuff. but,
the SSGN conversion, they do not carry the Trident missile anymore, and the tubes are converted to the Tomahawk missile system and other applications.
You can launch like
Yeah,
what, is
steel
it five
deployments
or
and-
6 Tomahawks out of a tube, I think.
Yeah, something like
Well,
that. I can't
yeah,
remember what it
they're
is.
what about 6 meters high inside or something. I'd imagine. Well, I could find on Wikipedia probably, but and the Tomahawk, it's what 5 meters long? Or, I don't know. I have no idea.
5 meters for a Tomahawk?
I don't know.
Yeah, about 15 feet.
I have no idea. Let me just go on here.
They make people have a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make boom, supposedly precision boom, but not really. Compared to what's what's possible today. But
I like how they
I didn't
use
read this
words.
one on my way out. A
I
dynamic
like how they
fleet
use-
leader.
Yeah, that bit.
A mentor for junior personnel, combined with his technical abilities with common sense.
Yeah,
Get
that's
the job
right.
done right the first time.
Wow.
that was
You
easy.
know what? I think that just might be the first time I've seen common sense referenced in an
Yeah.
eval.
Yeah, 5 meters, yeah.
Okay. I didn't understand the reference to the person, but I just it seemed unusual that they wrote that.
Yeah, half the stuff that they're talking about here, I don't remember doing, like involvement in command-sponsored community relations programs. I don't remember us doing any community projects while we were in shipyard.
You did not have any Liberty incidents. Good on
Yeah,
you.
that's well, it's not hard when I
maybe
keep
it's
everybody-
because
You know what, guys? Just on that note, though, that if the Navy expected us to behave, they wouldn't give a medal for good conduct.
True.
Oh, that is so true.
Absolutely right.
Okay,
So
I just
you-
looked at a
Why
Tomahawk
do they
missile
stop?
without sorry.
Why did they stop giving me good conduct when I became an officer? Why?
Because it's expected, maybe.
Yeah,
no, why,
exactly.
More
why
so than,
can't I
as a-
still get a good conduct? I mean, I'm still a person.
Wait, no. The
You're
officer.
an officer. You're not a person.
Yeah, the officers are expected to have that behavior all the time, whereas we lowly enlisted, we have to get special dispensation when we show that we can be regular human beings.
Do
But
you
it's-
know how much we fucked up?
Oh, I know. Oh,
They didn't start regulating common sense and start evaluating each case by case from there on. did
Do
they?
you know how many officers I have carried back to the ship?
Did I tell you about the DUI board for the entire base in Japan? So there is an LED. There is a lighted board as you enter the main gate at Fleet Activities Yokosuka. That when I got there, every command that had a DUI or any other alcohol type or related incident within the past 90 days, it was shown up on that board. It was command, pay grade of the offender, and how long it's been since the last incident.
From that person or that...
From that command. So,
okay, fair enough.
So like 14 days, DWDI, driving while drinking indicated, which means a BAC of 0.03 or higher without being 0.08. Then it would give a pay grade and then the command that the person was assigned to. So like 14 days ago, this person did this and they were from this command. That all changed when a commander from the USS Blue Ridge got popped for a DUI. The board went blank.
Technical problem.
Just to have that to make a board in any case for that sort of thing, that's an indicator of something horribly wrong.
Well, no. The board is almost like a thing of shame. Is like you don't want to be put
I know,
up there.
but I know it shouldn't be an issue that's so big that you would want to have something like that up there.
You think to set an example person higher up would have had their name there?
Well,
You know, I could.
I mean, if you're going to lead somebody, you need to set an example.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
So
I
you
kinda
should
like
be, own up to it and be put on there.
Yeah, a personal friend of mine was the XO of the USS New York. He was a prior enlisted. He had been in 27 years. He was scheduled to become the CO of the ship. He got fired because he was banging an E4 who was on that ship and got caught. So, yeah.
Yeah. But for the reference, he was an E5 at the time, an O5 at the time. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was an 05 that got popped on for a DUI from the Blue Ridge, which for those who don't for reference sake, when it comes to all the ships that are stationed in Japan, the aircraft carrier does have a 1-star admiral attached to it for the actual combined fleet commander role. The Blue Ridge...
Yeah. He's the CAG.
The CAG is the air group commander.
Well,
he's
yeah.
a captain. He's kind of like the CAG, but he's an admiral. He's a 1-star.
Right.
He's the fleet commander.
Right.
The Blue Ridge, the command and control ship for the Western Pacific, has a 2-star admiral on it. That command is the ranking command in the 7th Fleet area of responsibility. And it was one of his...
The CTF-7?
Yep, CTF-7.
Okay.
It was one of his adjuncts that got hit with the DUI. So it was the admiral who said, oh, no. That's not going on the board. And so the base commander was like, well, if you're not going up on the board, no one's going to be up there because we're not playing favorites in that way.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh, what was it? An officially sanctioned thing, or was it something that they thought, "Oh, why don't we do this to try and
being
being
up on the board was an officially sanctioned thing because it was just that. It's that whole we're going to guilt you into it by shame.
Well, that happened.
I know the reasoning
on-
for it, but
that happened on a ship that I was on, where an officer actually went to captain's mast, and they used to, they would put all of the results from captain's mast in the daily.
Another day.
Plan of the day.
Plan of the day.
Yeah, the POD.
Right. They would call it the funny papers is what we called it because it was like the results of captain's mast.
Mad Magazine.
Yeah, but an officer went to captain's mast, and so for that period of time, they just didn't. There was nothing in there as far as results from captain's mast. So, for what in the U.S. Navy we call khakis, there's a different standard. It's not right, but it is what it is.
Well, and here's the thing is, he wasn't the first officer to potentially be put up on the board, but he was the highest.
Oh, yeah. No. When you get to that level, that's totally different than if, like, I had fucked up.
Yeah, like I was going to say, I remember, the reason why I can say that is because I remember distinctly seeing a couple O2s, maybe an O3, but never higher than a full lieutenant, an O3, being up on the board.
Yeah. No. That yeah.
Is this true there, Schrodinger? Is this what happens in your house?
Hold on, let me read this.
don't make the man cry.
Yes. Yes. Totally. Yeah. Let's read this one. Are all these like hateful towards officers? Like,
No, this one's a chief. Oh, yeah, it is an officer. Yeah, it's an ensign. It's okay. We're allowed to hate on ensigns.
But especially the line at the end, especially since I put it in your head in the first place. Because
that should be the whole purpose of the Navy Band, is to do this around chiefs and officers. Or
somebody should really put a rim dampener on that drum. It sings too much.
Especially with subs, because like JOs are like totally useless on subs. Like they don't have any real responsibilities.
Well, they would be a lot more useful than the political officers or political whatever the rank was on Russian subs or USSR subs.
Cut out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Russians did have those like political officers.
Not advisor, but it's someone to a kind of a
they were a communist
officer,
party. Well, they were a communist party appointee. They were designed.
Yeah, they were. They had. I do believe they had some type of police power, but they were a bit like a morale officer, except in a bastard kind of way.
Well,
if you weren't enough, sufficiently communist, or for the fatherland, it would be bad. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But
does anybody smell a mullet?
I was going to say I smell a lot of hair gel.
It's mullet.
Yeah.
Mullet
Are you sure it's gel?
Mullet cream.
No,
I cream.
Well,
Skeptic cream as gel.
Skeptic, you have quite the timing, because it is
skepticism.
Yeah, it is time to kind of shut this down. That way we have a little bit of a lull before switching over to movie night, which will be taking place at the usual time on the slightly different channel on SSF Simple Science instead of on Side Strike's main channel. But
well, let me finish this story. So I was enlisted for 12 years, and when I first became an officer, I got an email from a chief that said it began with the words "You need to."
Uh-oh. Doesn't sound good.
Yeah. And my response in an email was, if you think that I need to anything, you need to get promoted past me.
Something that starts with "you need to," that could be so many different things.
No.
Yeah. After you said that, it was.
Well, I take that back. JOs are fine. Or JOs are useless unless they happen to have an E at the end of their pay grade.
Right. Yeah. I had the O1 E. I had the E. So, yeah. Do not send me an email saying you need to.
Oh, I remember doing this.
That did not work out well. And we had a conversation in an enclosed space that he did not like.
At least it wasn't on a sub with nowhere to go.
No, it was a surface ship. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still.
This is the best prank in the Navy.
Oh God, yeah. There's still a courtesy to give initially at the outset until you build that rapport between the locker and whichever junior officer it is.
Well, I'm sure this is the global thing that two people, you may have a lower rank than the person that wants to do something, but that does not mean that he has the right to order you to do something.
Well, the thing was,
just because you have a higher ranking,
we knew each other, and I was wearing enlisted warfare on my breast,
which is allowed.
So he knew who I was. So don't send me an email saying you need to. That's not going to work out well for you.
No, if anything, come have a conversation like a man, and then you might get a little more grace. A little.
Right. I could see if I had just come out of the academy, maybe, send me that email. But I did 12 years. So
that sounded wrong.
I that kind of thing. Well, I was going to say that kind of thing happened when I was in, but it didn't because there was no such thing as email.
All right.
Come on, that was in the 50s.
Wow.
I think it was.
All right, but
thank you.
It's been quite the night already. We had a lot of lovely gun porn for the people who missed out. Well, guess what? When it renders, just go back and watch, and you'll get to enjoy the fun. And in the meantime, we will see all of you next week, and hopefully at the same time. But the plan is the same
time. Don't you mean on time?
Well,
on time would be at least half an hour
earlier.
After we should have started.
Well, it really depends on whether or not there's a wet beaver involved. That gets a little froggy and frisky.
And perhaps also if he gives off the wrong time because he just
he forgot about the time change. Yeah.
Well, to me, the message he sent to me. The message he sent to me was he stated the time, 6 p.m. EST. And since it's since not all countries change into daylight savings times time at the same time, that can get a bit of an issue. I'm a strong advocate for not getting rid of daylight savings time and just go Zulu.
Good
in
luck
all
with
NATO
that.
countries. Well, hey,
Good
I'm only 1 hour. I'm only 1 hour away from Zulu time, so it wouldn't be as hard for me as many other countries.
Yeah. With that, we will see all of you next time.